Rolling. Where do I need to be? Right about here? Move around. Make sure we're all right.
Somebody's rolling.
Rolling. Think about it is when I'm this far back, I need to make sure I can still give you one of those.
It worked.
Give you one of those. You look. You know what? You look like a one of those hip hop rapper guys. Or like a thug kind of guy.
He's a G.
I look like I'm in the army, like a army guy.
It's the toque, the indoor toque. It's very Pinder.
That's the last year.
I'm just
I
representing.
had so much hair I had to.
See, when you represent your team, then they do well. You get the joys of that. When you backstab your own team, you don't.
Dean, if you'd worn more gear, the Bears.
Is that what it is?
This year. Yeah.
Yes.
Well,
I love my team, but
here's another year. Hey, welcome to the show. It's a presentation of Bet365, the world's largest sports betting platform. Open an account with Bet365 today. Huge range of markets. You get the app, you download it to your use the promo code NATION to sign up if you haven't already. And just know that whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. And throughout the course of the show, you can take part in the YouTube chat. And with a small donation, it guarantees that we will bring it up on the show and we will move that money over to the youth centers of Calgary, which is not too shabby.
It's a great cause.
You know, not bad.
It's for the kids. Come on now.
Within reason, eh? Like,
hey,
it's not like, here's some homophobic and racist commentary.
No,
I would
we
like the
are
guys,
going
so
to,
I'm gonna.
We do give ourselves the ability to pass judgment on what.
Boomer said, so I'll pay $1 for him to
really
say something very disparaging about other people's race and color. That's not going to happen.
what about their ethos, their religion?
Might dip a toe potentially, but probably not.
I don't think it's a good idea.
Probably not.
Yeah.
No, probably not.
Got it.
Yeah, we got to be able to laugh.
Yeah, you got to be able to laugh. I'm surprised you're here. I thought maybe you'd be off celebrating today. The Bills win, and of course,
It's just another win.
it's
no big deal,
It's all
Dean.
business.
big day south of the border.
Well, he didn't invite me down.
He
I'm a little
didn't.
Surprised. I got the pardon from Biden. I was on that list.
Oh,
Yeah, you and Fouch.
Anyone, you just if you sent sent him a note.
Man,
Yeah.
Could you do me a favor
Listen,
here?
dude.
No wonder you're in such good spirits.
Oh,
you're off the
Blue
hook.
Monday. F that.
Is this
great.
Are we there?
Biden Monday? I'm cleared.
Yeah, that's good news. It's good news. I don't even know where to start today as we get into our opening statements for McLeod Law. We got a lot. There's a lot to talk about.
You debating between a hot goaltender or an amazing franchise? Is that your?
Well, yeah, there's definitely football, hockey. The goaltender's a story for sure.
Oof.
Well, I
My
watched.
boy scored. He's on pace for 3 now.
He did score on a nice shot. Everyone was happy.
Zipped
for him.
it. Whew. He's cruising now.
I don't like him
watching
scoring
or
at all.
what?
I was at the casino watching.
Really?
Well, I thought when you said your boy, are you talking about your kid or your boy?
We got to get
No,
that
not his
update.
boy.
Too.
We got
That's
the,
another hot
because
topic
that's what
for
I mean.
McLeod
It's,
Law.
Rhett and I got the big bet going on. 13.5 goals over or under Kuzmenko. And he's cruising right now. He scored 1 in his last 1 game.
Streaking.
Nothing more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Again,
so he's your boy, but your kids had a big weekend.
Yeah.
Kids had a big weekend. A victorious SO Minor Hockey Week,
Oh.
which is the best. You gotta love
Nothing
it.
more obnoxious than a bunch of
gotta love
Glen
it.
Lake stooges.
It was
walking
Glen
around
Lake
in
v.
there.
Glen Lake in the final, right?
And
Buy
so
another
what?
championship.
So this was yesterday, gold medal game yesterday,
Saturday. Yeah.
Saturday. So then what happened yesterday?
Yesterday. A lot of football.
You made me privy of some news when you came in this morning. I figured, well, okay, gold medal, coach wins, SO Minor Hockey. You're going to have a few drinks afterwards.
Hell yeah, you are.
Pinder.
And then we were on the ice early yesterday.
Ew,
Tight turn.
gross.
Yeah.
You
Who
want it?
planned that out?
And,
Gross.
A lot of good football yesterday. So we
You are skirting,
destroyed.
Really, Dodge?
I was-
skirting the issue.
I was deleting Guinnesses at an alarming rate yesterday. It's not always a Barber Blonde day. Sometimes you got to switch gears.
Yeah. Well, I was wondering.
Mhm.
Well, congrats to you.
So you
Thank
felt
you.
like
On your
shit,
big
had to
win.
get up early, and then decided I'm going to fix it.
I'm just going to keep.
It's a good strategy. It works.
Figured we'd earned it, right?
Yeah.
You're damn right you did.
So is this by yourself? Just sit down and start hammering Guinnesses alone?
No. We got
You look like
the
hell.
fellas together. I do look like shit. I feel like shit. Kids will do mini sticks in the basement. Dads will watch football. Come on.
Got it.
Come on.
I see.
It's another game. And
yeah.
Mm.
McLeod-law.com. If you ever need legal assistance, wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Thank you, Dean.
They are the very best. They're in Calgary. They care about the city. They care about you. And they're the best. McLeod-law.com. So we can get through the football from the weekend, 2 Saturday, 2 Sunday. But I don't know where else to start. But obviously, your Buffalo Bills.
That's where we start.
You know what they didn't? They didn't get Billsy.
It was close to. They gave themselves the opportunity to get Billsy, and it was almost like it was an anti-Billsy type of scenario.
What were we talking? Like 4th and goal from the 2.5? Was that what it was? The decision they had to go through?
Yep.
And that was a big one because you score a touchdown there, it's over. You don't. You knew the Ravens were to come back and score. They were just moving the ball with ease.
It was like, can they stop the 2-point conversion now?
And I was with the largest Bills fan on earth outside of Rhett Warner. And he was like, well, tie game. As soon as they took the field goal.
And that's why I said, kick the field goal, get the tie, because that's how I felt. Put the ball in Allen's hands with 1.5 minutes left.
Yeah, the conversation was let them score immediately, so there's still clock and Allen gets to hold it.
That was my approach to the end of the game as well.
Yeah.
Let's give it to Allen. He's our only hope.
So the guy you wouldn't give it to on 4th and 3 to ice the game is the guy you wanted to get it to with like 1.5 minutes left. It was a wild finish.
Well, it gave you a shot at 2 wins by kicking the field goal. 2 ways to win by kicking the field goal. That's why.
Mark Andrews, deep agent, double. Yeah.
Gonna feel bad for Mark.
Double agent.
It's not his fault.
That'll be the remember the Mark Andrews game?
Yeah.
That's
everyone
the
will remember.
Yeah.
There was some thought though. I saw John Gruden yesterday. He's like, you've got a guy who's 6'4", 280 pounds in your backfield, is a first ballot Hall of Famer.
They didn't use him a lot.
And you are not giving him the ball. Late in the game, defenses are tired. You're not giving him the ball for a 2-point conversion.
You didn't stop him in the whole third quarter.
Yeah.
He ran the ball.
Yeah.
So interesting.
There was lots. I mean, again, like it was, the Bills were good, but Baltimore pulled the Bills move and turned the ball over. I thought Allen was going to toss that. Remember he got wrapped up late in the game and he looked like he was going to
get rid of it.
No. That was
5 years ago. He does probably, right?
Yep.
That's what Lamar did, right? You got spun around and let one go. Like it was the turnovers entirely the difference.
So it's good for the happy. Hey,
got a good game now coming up.
Yeah.
Going into KC. Oh, baby.
You against the world, Rhett. You against Taylor Swift. You against the refs. You against Mahomes. You against Goodell. You against the script.
Yeah, the script. Script will be big.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
You guys were happy for me, though?
I
had anxiety.
Deep in the bag, but you were sober.
Sober. I had serious anxiety.
Here's the thing. Full disclosure. Wanted the Bills to win. Wanted to see it get tied up to see how it was going to end. It's like, this is going to be a juicy fit. If they go to overtime, like this is going to be great.
I didn't want overtime. There was lots on the clock when Edwards dropped that. It was a minute or more, wasn't it? Oh, it was for sure.
They killed plenty at the end there
because it was. I think it was almost just under 2 minutes.
Yeah.
So Allen would have scored.
Was it Cook that ran for that first down to eventually?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and Ray Davis is good. They ran the ball well. Finally, outdoor team, bad weather. Finally figured out how to run the ball.
They played good.
Philly did too yesterday.
Yeah, did they ever? Saquon with a couple serious cracks.
A snowball type game coming up. Buddy of ours was at that game with his young boy watching the Eagles defeat the Rams 28-22. Fly Eagles fly, birds. Who now I grabbed the Bet365 odds this morning. Who do you think would be the betting favorite to win the Super Bowl?
Well, I have
4 teams remaining.
That I did look at the
Philly
other
or
game.
Buffalo.
I think it's KC.
We'll throw it up here for you. This is as of this morning on our
Not because they're good.
Presenting
but
sponsor
like,
Bet365.
really? Wow.
Eagles plus 185, Chiefs 220,
Really?
Bills 250, Commanders 700.
It's probably because of the spread in the Eagles-Commanders game, Ryan, right?
I haven't seen the spread there. I was looking at the other game,
It's
but
like I think it's 5.
You can call it up. We got that too.
I just think when we get there, the Eagles are not favored.
I'm a little surprised that
Like if they play Buffalo or KC, are they not like plus 1 or 2?
could be. We are set. There's the final four. 5.5 point favorites at home are the Eagles, the Chiefs by 1.5.
And that line's been dancing. I've seen it at 2, 1.5 again.
2?
Yeah. This morning at one point.
Well, I went on immediately.
I did the same thing.
My squad.
I knew you would appreciate my support, so emptied it right there.
I
5.5, eh?
Commanders are rolling.
That was quite a game.
Oof.
That was the
Lions
game I
Commanders
missed. I
was
did not
quite
see
a game.
moment of
That was
that
a
because that was also
statement.
night.
As they say, this game is drunk. I mean, it was just points galore, big plays, trick plays, and they could not stop Jaden Daniels.
Could not stop.
Couldn't
Some
stop him.
clutch fourth down conversions, apparently.
He's throwing it again. Completion. Like it was video game stuff.
Yeah.
It was video game stuff. It was an amazing watch. Now again, you had the snowballs and things are tough to get yards and all of that. That's hard-nosed football. We love that.
Mhm.
Then you had the other side, indoors and just a track meet. I don't know which one's better, because a lot of people will say, "Oh, you bitch about, or you get through the entire season, you play football, and then you get to like a wild card or a playoff game, and then it's snowing, and whatever you've done to that point, maybe half of your game plan is out the window because now you can't run the ball, or now your receivers are."
This is what we said about Buffalo
Neutralized.
forever. It's like
So I don't
you're gonna
know.
play for home field and then don't have a run game. Finally figured that part out.
Kind of more on the side of I don't love the snow games.
See, I totally disagree.
Really?
Well, I mean, not just because it's you and you have an opinion, but there's nothing better than sitting on your couch watching a game in shitty weather with snow falling and people sliding all over like that.
I totally disagree. I would rather see plays being made. I would rather see the best in the world
So the Philly
Being
game, you
able
didn't
to
see any plays.
being able to
The
do.
Buffalo game, you didn't see any plays. Like it was plays and
I think it's irrelevant.
you saw like
But they're
two
not-
60+ yard touchdown runs from Saquon in the snow. It was awesome.
I just don't think it just matters. They're not changing anything. They can't make.
No, it's
Bills
just better.
build up.
Like it's just cinema. It's unreal.
I don't think it's better or worse. I
Lions.
think
though,
you
eh?
can like both. The Lions game was pretty entertaining. Philly Buffalo's game pretty entertaining.
Yeah.
How about we stop whining about either?
They were all good.
Not whining, just saying.
Not you. I'm just saying
You
that
saw
people
two-
have opinions. We gotta have its root. Well, if you run a football team and you are from Buffalo, you might want to take into account that perhaps there might be snow or weather and plan for it.
Yeah.
Hundo.
Wonder how they feel. Who's the was it John Mara? The Giants.
There's a lot of John Mara on Twitter yesterday.
to lose a lot of sleep if
if he Saquon signs goes with to the the Eagles. I
I'm
don't
just
know,
gonna have a really
jeez.
hard time.
Uh,
Betting favorite to win the Super Bowl. Oh, jeez. Oh,
It's
guys.
not only just going to the Eagles.
he's got to do the Phil Kessel if he wins, just like right to New York.
There was also a video, and I don't know if you guys saw it over the weekend. It's from the Hard Knocks because they're following different things. They have a video of Joe Shane, who's with the Giants, who let Saquon go. They're getting ready for the draft, and he's kind of in his office with his kids. Like, who should I take? His daughter's like, oh, he's wearing blue. She's younger, and his kid's laying over on the couch. You got to take Jaden Daniels. You got to trade up and get Jaden Daniels.
Oh yeah.
And somebody else says, oh, yeah, Malik Neighbors or Harrison Jr. whatever. Like this, you only get this job once. Like you can't blow this. You got to. This guy's unbelievable. You got to
The
trade
kid
for
just
Jaden
nailed it.
Daniels. The
Yes.
kid nailed it.
The neighbor's pretty good, but he's right.
He's not, but he's not wrong. At least now.
Oh,
Exciting,
Imagine
man.
paying Danny Dimes and not that running back with a shitty O line all those years in New York.
Yeah.
Oh,
Unfortunate.
like no one's surprised he's doing what he's doing, are they? Like maybe
Nope.
the total numbers are impressive, but you're like, yeah, of course he's gonna shred behind a good O line.
That Dan Orlovsky clip making the rounds again. He was on Get Up or whatever on ESPN. a month before the draft or a few weeks before. He's like, listen, nothing against Caleb Williams. I think he's great. But Jaden Daniels has to be the guy. What he's doing at LSU, you just watch the plays he's making. You watch the poise. He's just, this is the guy.
He's a sharp cat. I like
He's a sharp cat. Yeah.
Sorry about your Bears.
It's like, hey, yeah, he'd look all right, but it's not to be. Whatever. So, Flames get a win.
Against a good team.
Kind of impressive win, yeah.
Shocking to no one.
No, especially
Never a
after the
doubt.
last couple games,
Yeah.
you could tell that they were ready to launch.
Yeah, when they scored 2 goals in 2 games in a week in St. Louis, you knew they were ready. Yeah,
they were ready.
Yeah. Dialed in.
Yeah.
Efforts were.
Did they get to 4?
Over the top.
No.
Really?
No.
But they still
found a way to win.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. The goalie had to be out of his flipping mind to do it, but he did. And they did. 3-1 final.
Ozzie Brad going to fly over when he wins the Calder, or were you not quite there yet?
Is that what it was?
Oh, he's got some serious moves.
Calder money, yeah.
30-1 or something. He's
Yeah.
coming.
Just
A
think
couple more wins and shutties. Let's
if
go.
he plays like that, he might have in the bag.
That was quite an impressive performance. I mean, cheeky or not, that was
Best game of the year. A lot of people were saying. I was
yes.
Hammered or not watching.
working a gate, but people saying that's the best game he's had all year. And I thought the LA game was special. He's had a couple shutouts in there too.
He was pretty spectacular.
He was pretty it was. Yeah, it was quite a night. And for some, it'll be that coming out party because obviously we focus on it, but around the league, you wonder.
Coast to coast, talking to Canada.
This is one of those, holy shit, this guy's pretty good. But yeah, it was big saves. Not just
often
quality over quantity almost. He was dynamite.
I saw the scoring chance count was like 16-4 or something. You're like, oh,
yeah,
that's a stolen 2 points. Thank you, sir.
But at the same time, it's what we've seen. It's not like he was average and then had an unbelievable monster game. This has been building. It's not like he did anything that you haven't seen him do as far as making saves or poise or confidence or being in the game. He gave his team a chance to win, but he was especially good that night.
Yeah, and I think it had to do with the opponent they were playing against. Like the Jets just they peppered them really.
It was
and with quality scoring chances, not just lots of shots, but they owned the puck.
In the last 8 games, he's lost twice. He's had 3 games where he's allowed more than 2.
The one game against
still no way the team's gonna win. They can't score 4.
That game against St. Louis, which was his last start, the long bomb from Parayko was not great. There was maybe another one there. How does he respond?
Unreal.
How's that?
Yeah.
That's a response game for that kid.
And the body of work is becoming pretty exemplary compared to his counterpart.
And
how are you rolling the hell out of him? You look at the last 15 games, I think there's probably 11 or 12 Wolves.
Well, that's what it has to be. It has to.
It's their chance to win. Koska's not coaching for a top 10 pick. He's trying to make playoffs. They clearly have one guy playing better than the other.
And if he plays like that, you'll be the best team in the league or one of.
They got some back-to-backs. Okay, you're going to get in, Dan. Otherwise, we officially have a number 1, and
Don't F it up, Dan.
He'll be cruising over 50 starts easy.
Dan.
Come on,
Daniel.
Dan. So Thursday? Is that the
Thursday? Sabres.
They have 1 game over a 6-day span, and then 3 and 4 in 3 different cities.
How they do that?
Great work, guys. Really nailed it.
Wonder what they'll do this week.
Poker tournament tomorrow.
Oh yeah, when's that start?
Get really dinged up there.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
Got to go to that,
Do you have to go to that?
Can't be running late tomorrow. What time this shit starts?
That's weird because usually you are lobbying to
go longer,
do a little extra.
Yep.
We'll just start on time.
He's like, hang on, guys. I have a little more. Just give me another half hour.
I did
In
on,
fairness,
on Thursday.
He was ready to give a little bit more on Thursday.
Yeah, you guys were running out of here.
Yeah.
I got a workout. Please.
Outdoor dental.
I got to go there too.
Do you?
Yeah.
Really?
What do you got going?
I'm going to take my kid.
Yeah. Is he snoring? Has he got a soft palate?
Soft palate.
Yeah. Get in there with the Soleil laser.
3D print him a tooth.
I can't listen to it anymore. Yeah, it's I mean, you were talking about dentistry with the Soleil laser. There's no hammers, chisels, nails, saws, nothing. Pain-free. It's the way to do it. It's technology, people. And also the snoring treatments, 2 15-minute treatments will increase the tension in the soft palate to reduce snoring, non-surgical pain-free.
Bam.
So a 15-minute treatment, there's 2 of those. So, I mean, roughly an hour or so, maybe a little less.
Oh, yeah, less than that.
It's totally going to be worth your time and could be on your extended bid. You know, if you got those benefit things.
Got the benefits.
Yeah, could be.
Good stuff.
Yeah. You think you could sneak one of those in for your kid?
Sneak
it in for me.
Just slide a 20
while I
over.
have
Any
my
chance?
kid in there.
Like you're looking for the upgrade in the room in Vegas?
benefits?
Hey,
I'm sure.
is there any chance if you have a bit of an upgrade here for an extra Soleil laser?
sir,
treatment?
please put that $5 bill back.
Oh, I don't mean to insult you. I was just wondering if there happened to be any, snoring treatments kicking around. Maybe you've already got the laser out if you're going to be able to just kind of sneak in there. I'm betting he doesn't need it.
No.
I'm betting he's fine.
Not yet, but if he's in my family, he will.
It'll be a matter of time.
Yeah.
That's right. But truthfully, if you may know there's apnea in the whole thing, but if you know you're not getting quality sleep, you're not getting enough sleep, then this is probably something that you've never, ever tried before and is probably very much worth it. Outdoor.dental is the website. Contact them today and get yourself in there. Are you good at poker?
Not anymore.
When he gets good cards, he's really good.
Yeah, if I get really good cards.
Pocket aces, you're just
When he gets
strong.
bullets, he's awesome.
Yeah.
I won the casino, the Cowboys Stampede won one year.
Won the whole thing? That's quite impressive.
Like the way. Well, I mean, hell yeah. I mean,
How many people? Like
have you guys not won the Cowboys?
Well, that is the thing with these. Is there's so many people.
It was a nice winning.
What do you win? A buckle or a ring or?
Quite a bit.
Yeah.
I don't remember it all.
Really?
I've got pictures and stuff.
Rich get richer.
There's a lot of those guys, the celebrities, the athletes. They just want to get out. They're just first hand, all in. Wasn't that Kipper's move?
Kipper.
I'm all in.
Kipper doesn't like people, so
I think Tree was playing blind for like half an hour, but he kept winning. Didn't even look at his cards.
Yeah.
Like, this is wild.
Good for them though. Raises a lot of money for.
sure does. It's a great event.
causes.
Lots of fun. You guys should stop in.
It's
They'd
tomorrow.
love to have you.
Yeah, would they?
Mhm.
Because I inquired and that wasn't what I heard.
Oh,
Is that right?
I heard that the rights holders are still butthurt. So, whatever that means.
so we can't go?
Oh, we can go.
Well, I'm
just,
going. They can't do it.
It's too bad they hate charity and hate the kids.
I know.
guess.
Why do they hate the kids so much? We were trying to help the kids.
We're kind of fond of the kids. Want to help out.
like the kids.
Just trying to be some good guys around here. Trying to make a difference. Guess that don't matter. Guess that don't matter. Why don't we do the Pinder Report?
Really?
Well,
All right, let's go.
I reached out to Frank Seravalli, who's our Monday guest,
Yeah.
and
He was in the snow globe yesterday.
He was, yeah.
He's
I saw
totally
it.
hungover. So
I checked in and was like, "Are you at this?" And received a picture of him and his son.
this is
It said game.
maybe be shocking.
Hmm.
I'm not sure how pumped he is to come on.
Our show?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah, I can.
Yeah.
I feel like he's jacked.
because last week
there's a trend. You're noticing a trend.
Well, last week he wasn't on, but he had an abscess in his tooth.
Ow.
What?
So he had to go get
Outdoor
some
dental.
dental work.
What's
Yeah,
an
that's right.
abscess?
Outdoor.dental, Frank. And then he messaged back the next day. And he's like, "What day do you want me?" And then we had the thing. Well, I don't know. Is Traeger going to be on? He's not going to be on. It's like, well, if we don't have this guy, we'd like to have you.
But then
Awkward.
Then he feels like a second fiddle.
So then I reached out today, and he responded with, "I guess," and then a emoji. I guess.
I've never used that one.
I use that one a lot. It's good.
I think you have to make that noise.
I like the face palm.
You're a big
And that
emoji
one-
guy. And you know what it is with my bad eyesight? I sometimes don't know what you're doing.
Right.
It's like, what is
You
it?
can only blow it up
Is
so
he
big.
sweating? Is he in pain? What is?
Is
Is
he
he crying?
laughing?
I don't know what that.
Is that a horse? What am I looking at?
Yeah,
here?
I'm not sure what
Okay.
that is. Anyway,
So the point of the story is that
We may
you
or
don't
may
know
not
if
have.
Frank likes
Well, I was
us and
kind of-
wants to come on, so we might
usually
as
it's
well
around-
do the Pinder Report.
well, I planned to have a guest at 10:30. It's now 10:42.
Friggin'
So
It's not
rather
like
than,
us to be late or tardy.
I mean, I could show you something. I went skiing this weekend.
What?
No, you did.
Yeah.
You went skiing
I
at,
did.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
at the hill there.
I love skiing. No, at Jiggler's Hill.
Canyon,
I-
yeah.
I think it's what it's
Jiggler's
called.
Canyon.
Yeah, take a look.
Have you been looking for a place to ski? Come to Jiggler's Hill, the only ski resort in the U.S. with an unlimited buffet.
Wow.
Jiggler's Hill offers pristine views, terrain parks, and many famous runs, such as Flying Whale and Large White Crack.
I didn't need that. Okay.
Just can't, sweatpants. It just keeps sliding, right? You tighten that string up.
That string just doesn't.
It can only do so much. Can only do so much.
Snowboarding and skiing.
Yeah.
Did I see snowblades too?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's all kind of the same discipline, same kind of balance. And that
impressive.
sort of thing.
Edging and sliding.
Yeah.
That's what he does.
That's what I do. Reminds me of
Good
a
work.
buddy of mine was in the, I don't want to say large department store that we've all been in.
Mm-hmm.
Big, you sell everything in there.
Okay.
And there was a lady, a couple of ladies in front of my buddy. And one of the ladies was talking to the other, and it's basically saying that, ever since I have gone to full-time sweatpants, I haven't looked back.
Yeah.
Like I'll never change. Like it's
I'm good.
sweatpants full-time now.
Sweatpants City.
Really? Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll have to try that.
Once you go sweat, you never quit.
Yeah, I guess you don't. Yeah.
that's-
I guess you don't. We'll
Well,
head to the
activewear,
yeah,
activewear.
That's right. Some people Lululemons, other people just right to the sweats.
that's what he's-
Crystal Waters Plumbing and Heating is your crystal clear choice for all residential plumbing, heating, and cooling services. Barn burner, folks. If you need a hot water tank, an AC, a furnace, you'll get discounts and upgrades up to $1,000 in value. Solution for all budgets, including financing, affordable payment plans. Maybe you're a home builder. You need high volume professional support. It's all at one place.
They can do that.
Crystal Waters, Plumbing and Heating, your crystal clear choice for home comfort. 403-219-4100 or check them out at crystalclearcalgary.com to the insider hotline for Crystal Waters.
Oh,
We go and say good day to our buddy Frank Seravalli. Frankie boy.
Franklin.
Go
G'day.
Birds. Go Birds.
Go Birds. Hey, Rhett, you want to see you in New Orleans?
Should we do that?
I'm in if you're in.
I've never been. Can you show me around?
Unfortunately, I can.
Ooh. You guys should get one of those hotel rooms with bunk beds.
Nah, we just need one king.
No, no.
Yeah, all right.
That's true. Yeah.
Oh, baby.
We're not
Sleeping. I'm in, Frank. Let's do it.
Yeah,
I
I'm not
can't
sure
even
how-
imagine what kind of damage could Rhett do in a town like New Orleans.
Well, find out. Book your tickets before we know it's the Eagles and the Bills. It's only going to get more expensive, fellas. Now's the time.
I have a flight booked. I need a hotel.
A little presumptuous, maybe, Jinxie.
I've got some tickets,
You
and I've got a
the-
line on more tickets.
Ooh,
Brett, this is
all
your
right.
chance to go to the Super Bowl.
But I
Yeah.
need you to come through with a hotel room.
Okay, I'll get to work on it.
Is this like an issue in New Orleans? There's not enough hotels, or no? 'Cause
It's
they do have
usually
Super
not,
Bowls.
but I believe there's been some speculators.
Oh shoot!
Yeah.
Didn't know you could do that.
We'll figure it out, Frank.
Yeah.
You don't seem worried.
I'm not worried.
I mean, Patrick Mahomes. What's the worst that could happen? We don't get there.
It's more of the.
I've
refs.
wasted money on worse things, and
Well,
And
that
will again.
surprises no one on this show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we'll again.
and I think the Bills are going to go into Kansas City and have a win. Chiefs D is good, but they're beatable.
Rhett,
What
are you-
about the
are you going to-
nonsense like roughing the passer calls?
Well, that I can't control. The refs
Yeah,
is
that's
out,
going to be tough.
always out to get us.
Or if Andrews just catches that ball yesterday.
Mm.
Everyone in the world knew they were coming down to score that touchdown. Shocked that he
It's true.
dropped the 2-point conversion. My only thought was Allen's getting the ball back.
With like 90 seconds. Yeah.
We just have to score. Give us
Just a field goal.
Yep.
Never a doubt is what you're saying. So you
I
just
did. I
feed up the
I
whole
was
day?
more comfortable with that than trying to win it. I said it to Pinder than trying to win it when they were on the 3 or whatever it was, 4th and goal, or when they kicked that field goal. I'm like, kick the field goal. If they get the points and tie it up, at least Allen's going to have some time to try and charge on. You weren't stopping Baltimore. Like
We
they
were
weren't
joking, like let him score right away.
Yeah,
Like just
like-
don't even play defense the first play, and then at least Allen has some clock to work.
I
Wait,
don't
did you guys watch the game together?
never. We worked together.
Bills
That's-
fans were in attendance.
So, okay, all right.
How was it in Philly?
Yeah,
I was soiling myself in the last drive.
Were you a little
Lie.
bit
they
tight
had
for a
chance
while?
there. Would they
Yeah,
get down
look.
inside the 20?
They were up 13 or 15 with 4 minutes left. Like, come on, man. That should not be a thing. And you should not let them get down to the 15 after your kicker inexplicably missed 2 extra points that day. Like, it felt like it was all lining up for an absolute nut kick.
Yeah.
And yet it didn't.
but yet here you both are
Here we are.
And there you'll be in 3 weeks.
on
in
the
New
worst for
Orleans.
wear.
Rhett, are you going to Jasper?
No, I don't play hockey.
Ah,
He's back in town now, so he's going to help out with a bunch of stuff.
yeah, he's actually
this
going to
year.
get off his ass and do something nice.
Jack like that one.
Yeah, you got Jack. Don't step on Jack's laughter. Where do you want to start, Frankie boy? There's some unlikely teams that are playing pretty well right now. I know the Wings and Jackets are 8-2. The Habs are 8-1-1, all in their last 10. Big win for the Habs the other night.
Rangers are actually rolling too. I was looking at that. They've been playing
Yep.
some good hockey.
Habs have a goalie from the looks of
Yeah.
things that isn't Sam Montembeault. There's a lot of things going on. It's when things happen in Montreal, it's hockey night in Canada and you win in overtime and everything's exciting. It's kind of a special spot, even though maybe some of us don't like to admit it.
Well, I think to be honest, we've missed it. Like, they've been grasping for relevancy now for a few years and haven't had any. And it's almost like the fan base as a whole has played the part really well, right? They've been super patient through this rebuild process. This town that, for decades, the answer was not when, will the Canadiens make the playoffs? It was how deep will the run be? Will they win the Stanley Cup this year? And to go through a chunk of years, a decade or so, where even the playoff part has been in question and then not even in question, like we know the answer is no, it's definitely must be a bit of a strange vibe in Montreal. But when it's back, like it has been, and you start to see people believing again, it's a totally different feel. And I can just tell, looking at our website at Daily Faceoff, oh wait, some of the most clicked on stories in the last few weeks have been Montreal Canadiens stories. They're back.
Now, this was Saturday, right? Was it? Because I have to admit, there was a lot going on between
Hockey
kids
night.
and sport. It was hockey night. Rangers, Habs. That was Saturday. Anyway, this weekend, we'll get you caught up here with a look at overtime.
So dangerous for the Rangers. Panarin in front, shot. Oh, Dobish! What a stop! Absolutely unbelievable glove save in OT. Trocheck again, drops it off. Fox, one-timer, again he pushes across. Dobish sensational at the Bell Center. Laine has the puck through center. He'll weave in. Gouli in. Gouli across. Score! He did it again! Patrick Laine! OT winner! And the Montreal Canadiens beat the Rangers 5-4.
The Laine story is awesome.
There's something about it. European guys that go to Montreal and it feels like home. Looks like he hasn't in a long time. As Laine gets the winner, another big goal for them. Jacob Dobish, 5-0. I think it was. I saw him. It was December 28th. He did his solo lap, came out and knocked the pucks off the dash, and he's skating around by himself. The 28th. That's like 3 weeks ago. Now he's the toast of the town. You love sports towns where that kind of stuff means so much and matters.
Can you pronounce his name again? Because it was so good.
Dobish.
Dobish.
Dobish. We're all a little dobish.
Dobish.
You know, December was a tough month. A lot of sweets. Got a little dobish for sure. Trying to get better. Trying to get back on the bike. But anyway, so 8-1-1 in their last 10. After Kent Hughes comes. Oh, listen, we need you to stay the course.
Well, they were last in the league at some point in November,
right?
It was like 30 seconds, and the question was like, geez, like I knew this was a process, but are they still that far away? And now they're one of the hottest teams in the league, and it's like, why not them for a wild card? Like you look,
I'm not buying it. I'm sorry. I
don't think
I don't mean to
rain.
I don't mean to sprinkle on anyone's parade today, but I give the Montreal Canadiens a single-digit % chance to make it.
So who do you have winning the wild cards? Do you like Columbus's chances better?
No, I like the Rangers.
Yeah, me too.
They have one regulation loss in their last 10. If you're to take every team in the muck without even really thinking about it, who's the most talented team?
It's the Rangers by a mile.
Well, like they've got the goalie, they've got I think Columbus has been a fantastic story. And I think they could remain competitive and in the mix, but I'm just not. I think the Canadiens have had a great rebirth here and they've played themselves into being in the conversation. But if we're taking the long-term holistic view here of the Canadiens, they've still got some pieces to move at the deadline that I think they're going to have to take a long, hard look at, even if they're in the mix. What are you doing with Jake Evans? What are you doing with Mike Matheson? What are you doing with David Savard? What are you doing with what if Yoel Armia has a fantastic Four Nations face-off? You've got to be still plucking pieces off your roster because that's the great equalizer of this playoff run for all these teams that are in the muck. If you get in and you get to be the 8th seed, congratulations. But are you a threat?
There's a few teams I wonder about. Like if the Rangers are there, they absolutely are. And
I think but that's a different scenario. But if you're the Canadiens, you're going, we're just happy to be here.
Jet fuel.
One was a President's Trophy winner. It's a good point. But you know what? When you can look around and it's, this Hudson looks like, this guy might be unbelievable player.
He's good.
And Cole
I'm a big believer in what Montreal's building long term.
Yeah.
I'm not this year.
Yeah. That's fair.
I watched Ottawa Boston on Saturday. That's the best game I've seen all year by a mile. It was intense. It was a war. There were scraps all over the place. Every time I looked up, Brady Tkachuk was in the penalty box again, yelling at someone. They were down too late. They pulled their goalie and tied with 12 seconds left. They win in overtime. That felt like the Sens a real game for me. And I understand that that's hyperbole and that's narrative street, but like we've all been waiting and we all think this might be the year they can finally do it. They're doing all this without Olmark, and that was unbelievable. And sorry, I hope you saw some of that. It was incredible.
Yeah, and that's the team that I'm kind of partitioning off and saying, especially if you can get Olmark back relatively soon, I think they should run away with that 7th spot.
Yeah.
And then it becomes a fight for who gets 8th.
And so, again, like if it's the Rangers and Sens as wild cards, like, who thinks that's an easy out? I'm sorry. Like those teams have all kinds of skill. Those are not like blue collar, we got here with hard. No, these are skilled teams that can kill you with good goaltending.
So then how much really would be separating the 7th and 8th seed from the 2nd or 3rd?
Nothing.
Like
if Olmark's back
and if Shesterkin's on top of his game, like why not those two teams?
Yeah. I mean, this is a team that won the President's Trophy last year and went to the conference final and had a chance to play for a Stanley Cup. I'll tell
you, this game was unbelievable. Yeah. Like it was scraps, every whistle, scrums, like that. And that fan base, not unlike Montreal, they've been patient,
beyond starved,
frustrated, and now it's finally happening. Like it was electric.
Yep.
What does Boston do here? I know Neely came out last week and said, "Well, we may have to make a little pivot here and look at things." It's not Swayman.
Did they keep the receipts on the Lindholm Zadorov? Can they take those back at the return aisle at Costco, or what do we?
Tough 47 games. It could be worse. Could have been the Rangers, but now here they are basically the same. But
could have been the Flames.
Yeah, that's
could have been.
Yeah,
at a bigger number probably too for both those cats.
That's Conroy. Yes. That's Conroy. So smart. Not signing as big as a signing. All that cap space.
Or they said no.
or he said, yeah,
It's good money.
I need
I don't know.
9.75 a year. I
Yeah.
can't do that.
Could you imagine?
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
it's
a
nightmare fuel. It's
Yeah.
it's not just the term; it's the contract. Like all of a sudden, the Flames are a cap team this year, and what?
Yeah. No bad.
And you know what? Some might say there's already some bad money on that Flames roster.
Might
Might be
Come
hard
on.
to hard to find. I'm not sure, but if you
It's
wanted
not
to,
as bad as it used to, though. The way they're playing this year,
And the way he's playing, to be
Huberdeau
fair,
is supposed
yeah.
to be that guy, but
No, he's the one deal where you're like, that's it. Like everyone else is playing to their salary, including Kadri, which it was a concern when he signed. He's been fine.
So, what is give me a vibe check on the market, because every time we talk about it, I'm like, I've never seen a fan base so hungry to lose, and I'm saying to myself, this is the best case scenario this season.
No,
No, hear me out though. But
Okay.
they were never going to bottom out because of those guys. They were never truly going to be the Blackhawks this year.
sure. But again, the worst case scenario is finishing 11th to 15th from the bottom, because then your pick goes to Montreal and you're picking in the mid 20s and in the 30s with your 2 picks from the Devils and the Florida Panthers in a draft class that's good in the top 10 and then tapers off pretty considerably. Like, let's be honest. The worst case scenario for this team is what they're lined up to do, which is just miss the playoffs.
Well, what I'm saying, best case scenario is if they get in.
Yeah, I think if they get in, no one's concerned about the pick. That's fair to say. You would trade
But
that.
why? I would you, if you're looking at the standings right now and you're watching the Canucks, you're watching what's happening there, and you're seeing that they're almost making a move with Miller over the weekend.
Yeah. I think that's positive for Vancouver, no? That they're going to get resolution on this issue that's like absolutely hung over their heads all year.
But I can almost guarantee you their team's going to be worse.
that's the thing. I without knowing what the return would be, I would like my team on the ice better with JT Miller than without it.
100%.
They've had a team without Demko for 3 months too. Like
I think there's a 90+% chance that after making the trade that the Canucks are a worse team on the other end of it, which is
on paper, sure, but like that room's the issue. It's the paper, they're fine.
But what's the room want, Ryan?
Well, and that's what we
Right?
don't
Like,
know. That's probably a better.
You
question
might be
for Ryan.
trading the guy that the room. I don't.
Yeah.
Well, and the coach now all of a sudden swinging in the wind because he looks like a JT Miller guy more than an Elias Pettersson guy, and he's got what?
and the
option
coach
in
is
summer?
that's right. The coach is in the last year of his deal.
Yeah, like that might be the awkward party, but
You might see 20 teams fire their coach to get a shot at Rick Tocchet. I'm not exaggerating with that
20?
number. 20 teams.
It's a
I'm
lot
not
of-
exaggerating.
a lot of firings.
Yeah, it's
Black
a lot
Monday.
of firings.
Yeah.
That's a good options for Rick then.
And only one
But
team
what
would
are
get
the
it.
Well,
Canucks? You truly believe they're not? You're worried that even after a trade, they're going to be in worse shape?
Yes. I just don't think they're going to be okay.
I just don't. Sorry, the only reason I question that is because of teams that are disheveled in the room don't play well together.
Yeah.
Right. They don't perform to their best of their abilities when.
But why did they
Wins.
win last year then?
I don't know.
Well, look,
Maybe it
here's the
didn't.
thing: that no
Flames
one wants
got
to talk
robbed of a pick in that conditional deal with Lindholm. They could have been a third round pick instead of a fourth round pick had they just won Game 7. That's how close they were to the Western Conference
or
Final.
Game 6, and they didn't have Demko the whole series, and they missed Besser in Game 7. We get it; they were that
And
close to beating
Pettersson,
Edmonton,
shit.
and that's why when I look at a team that hasn't had Hronek or Demko for 3 months, and people are saying, no, the Flames are going to be better than them the last half. It's like, what? Like, are those not 2 of the 5 most important players on the team? Like, I get you might have 80
But
cents. on
it's
the
not
dollar
as
for JT
simple
Miller.
as-
They're way better with Demko and net than Shelovs and Lankinen. Let's be honest here.
Sure, but that's making some big assumptions that Demko is back to full health and that we're dealing with a totally different Thatcher Demko. For my money, you might as well take all of his stats in the past and chuck him right out the window because he's likely never going to feel the exact same way again with that injury. It's
done
all
being
a matter of
on the
him getting to
you're
feel
saying?
comfortable again with his new reality.
Okay, so that's Canuck talk. What are the Flames then? Because Montreal, we just talked about.
Hold on a second. But let's just replay your assertion though, which is basically like if something reeks in your trash can, you just throw it out and that's it. And it's good. And we're never going to have any issue again.
I would think that the reason they're approaching this is because it's leaked into the room and it's having a bad influence on how things are going. And I don't
and
know.
You're trading a 100-point player and likely not getting anywhere near the help down the middle that
we don't know what's coming back, and sometimes it's not net zero. Like you're not moving the guy
it's not
out.
net zero, but my only point was that it's very likely that they won't be as good.
I don't know. I mean,
I'll say this from where I sit, it doesn't look like it's a one move fix.
No,
Okay, Miller's out, and now everything's good. Demko's going to be healthy, and Hronek's, so we got great health the rest of the way, and no slumps, and everybody comes in.
You have to replace
it's been more than just. It's been a number of things, and yeah, some of it's been injuries, but you're not guaranteed to not have injuries down the stretch and some tough games. I don't know. They've been right where they're at, which is in or out of a wild card for a good chunk of the season.
I'm just as curious, and I'm not. This conversation only proves out at the end of the year whether. And it's not even about being right or wrong. I don't give a shit I don't want the Canucks to make it. But what are the Flames trying to be? Like we just talked about Montreal. There's no way Montreal thought they were making the playoffs here. I don't think so. Did anyone have Montreal making a big jump? There weren't many people in the Flames side of the ledger saying, yeah, this is
sports at 81.
And so then they do make the playoffs, which I'm a believer in. And owners and players say you get a chance to make the playoffs, you go for the playoffs. Doesn't matter who you're going. We got to play Vegas. Well, too bad. That's your matchup. But is that the Flames in the Flames' best interest long term? Like, and you look at the Flames team, and you give them credit for what they've done, absolutely. But their scoring is horrendous. And so, are you allowing this?
I'm not saying you add. I think I think if you're Craig Conroy, what you do is you sit back, and if you could get a lowercase addition, or if you could get the player that fits your age scheme and is going to be there for 5 years, of course you pull the trigger. If you can add that right shot center that everyone's been talking about, that's between 22 and 25 years old, of course. But I think short of that, unless there's something like, essentially free in the bargain bin that you could give your team as a little reward to say, hey, you guys have played your asses off all year. You've competed. I'm going to give you a little something to try and help. Otherwise, you are just there. You're not helping and you're not hurting. I don't think you subtract. I don't think you take away, because I think that also sends the wrong message, speaking of culture and what they've been trying to put into place here and how night and day different this team is in the room from last year. So I think you continue to try and foster that if you can, but you're not hampering, you're not helping. That's the general, just straight down the middle here.
They could upgrade on the Miramanov, Hanley playing top 4 minutes, and I don't think it would be expensive. That's kind of the tinker when you talk about that I would see making sense. Like those guys are either out of the lineup or they're playing with too much with Uyghur. Like they're either popcorn or top 4. They're not cut out for that. Those guys are 6-7s all day. They could use one more.
We've known that since camp. That's the problem is we've watched that and said, oh yeah, no good.
No, I just saw, and I don't know nobody to extend a fight because we can move on. But I saw your grimace when Frank suggested getting somebody in that 23.
Well, it's just everyone says it, but like, are they actually going to move first to get guys? Like, what are we talking about here? These are not cheap assets. But just find 23-year-old right shot centers. Like,
I think you would. I think they would move first. Unequivocally, would move first to do it.
And that's where the grimace comes in.
Why? How do you know what the first is going to be? We just talked about how shoddy the draft class is.
If you're finding a 20-whatever-year-old right shot centerman, it's a distressed asset and it has risk too.
What if it's okay?
Like so if they're good players, they're not traded. Like no one gives away great young centers.
Well, let's talk. So like, what if it's what if we're talking about Dylan Cousins? Let me preface that by saying I don't think the Flames have what it takes to interest Buffalo. I think they're poor trade partners, but let's just take that profile of player.
Yeah. So again, like it's going to be a first plus for Cousins. Like that's a huge spend for a team.
You're not doing it
1 year into a rebuild. Like they literally started tearing down a year ago with Lindholm, Hannafin, Tanev.
They're
Like,
never going to
we're
be
hardly
drafting in
into
a
this.
position to get the guys that are true difference makers.
No, I disagree. If they're not getting elite goaltending, they're absolutely a top 8 pick and a lottery win away from stars.
But doesn't the way Wolf is playing this year actually change the timeline in the other direction?
It's been awesome, but again, like, it's goaltending. So I love the kid. I love the development trajectory. I think he's going to be a number one in this league. I think he's proving to be an elite goaltender, but even great goaltenders have bad years. Like, it's just, I could see this team thinking they're good and making the mistake of like adding the summer. And then all of a sudden he has like a 905 season that isn't elite and it's fine. And he'll get back to being a star again. And they're like, geez, we're really not close at all. Like, this is all just goaltending here. I really believe if it's not Wolf here, this is one of the worst 8 to 10 rosters in the league.
Would you say that
Hey,
you're
not
at
gonna get
all
any pushback from me?
that you're at all guilty of putting too much in the draft?
No,
I think
never,
you are. I think
No,
that
I think he's totally guilty.
talk
of
about
that.
distressed assets and that you make out as though, like, yes, lottery tickets and all that, and getting stars. It's not like they've been without. I mean, they have Matt Coronado and Connor Zary. These are all good players.
those are
but
middle
they're
six
not-
players.
But they're not stars,
They don't
right?
have top line guys.
They're not difference
So-
makers.
No.
They're not
They're good
drivers.
players. I like them,
Yeah.
but they don't have a star. They don't have game breakers.
Yeah.
Like, you
But
need.
what if Dylan Cousins is? I'm not saying he is. I'm just saying, what if that type of profile? Those are the only guys that are likely available, right?
Yeah,
Guys that showed it at age 21 to hit 31 goals and 68 points as a 21-year-old. Okay, so is he closer to that, or is he closer to the 20-goal, 45, 50-point guy?
Yeah, like, honestly,
Either way, if
you
I'm the
tell us
Flames,
what
I'm trying to
Dylan
find
Cousins-
out. I'm going, hey, I want to know.
I'd take
I'd
that.
rather answer that question for myself as opposed to taking a guy at 17th overall and hoping, wishing, praying that he's the next Scott Lawton.
Right, but what's it cost? Like, of course you love the idea of Dylan Cousins, but all of a sudden someone says it's Basha and a first and a player. You're like, shit, that's really expensive for a guy that might just be a middle six player. No?
I'm still doing it.
Yeah, and again, I don't know. Like, I've heard a lot of great things about Cousins. I don't know where he's at. I don't see Buffalo almost ever.
And we
Like,
put
why? If he's good, why are the Sabres even moving him? Like, what's happening there? Please
Wow.
tell us. Are they that dysfunctional? Like, is this Eichel all over again? Or is it Jesse Puljujarvi where it's like, yeah, we drafted him 4. We really like, oh, he's actually not a thing. He's on
But wouldn't you want to find out? That's my only
first
question.
plus if he's gonna be on waivers in 3 years, like for Puljujarvi.
Eichel, Reinhardt.
I don't think he's
that
those
have-
guys, but yeah.
I think Dylan Cousins would be a great fit in Calgary, but I don't know if they can get him. And I think that what happens here, and it happens, I say it every spring or every fall, there's so much talk about your own players and the buy-in, and then they go to camp and they got to play against the other top players from other organizations. You're like, well, maybe they're not that effing good. Like Basha you're in love with the guy, and
I like the player. Yeah.
that's great.
I think
He's
good-
never
pretty good
played,
also.
and you don't know what he's going to be, and he could turn out to be great. The only point I'm trying to make is that there's a little too much love for what we know as Flames. Sam Honzik again is back. Like, who is he? He's our first rounder. Would you give Cousins for Honzik?
They would laugh at you and ask for that plus.
But
you know
that's
what?
the point. But
But you
the
would-
point is you're getting that kind of pick, but you don't want Cousins because you're what's the word I'm looking for? Fearful of giving away a pick. And it's not even the right term, but
I just
you
don't
know what
think
I mean?
Honzik was a
you're
sound
putting so
pick.
much.
That's all.
Well,
Like, he might be.
But
Fine.
you're way more likely if
Went
you're the
off.
Flames and the range that they're going to be picking in to get a Mark Jankowski than you are.
Come on, like if they pick, if they pick
how many
10th,
good
you think
picks
you're
have they had?
Like,
What
what?
you don't like Perrick at 9? Like,
But what
that's
if-
a
but what if-
legit, their best chance at a star is the guy that took at 9.
And he's a
last
guy
year.
that's never played and might never like.
Well, yeah.
But
if
how
it's
many
all-
times are they going to be picking higher than 9 over the next 5 years?
Well, it depends. I mean,
But that's my point.
If
would
you
be-
trade Rasmus Anderson,
It's
a
going
lot-
the other direction with Wolf. You're
What's
trending
Wolf?
more towards 15, 17, 18 than you are to 9.
Yeah,
That's
no,
this is
Eric,
the whole point I'm
if
trying
you
to make.
keep everyone and extend Rasmus, I agree. But it kind of doesn't really line up with their young guys. And I'm not here to say that every draft pick makes it, but there is a large quantity of 18 and 19-year-olds in their system, and many of them will be very good NHLers. The time to supplement, Like I look at Ottawa and it's like, yeah, they had all this young talent. It's going to happen at some point.
They
went too early on DeBrincat. They went too early on Chikrin. It was just
they went on the wrong guy. They didn't have a goaltender. They thought they had goaltenders. Who was the guy from stupid Pittsburgh they signed?
Matt Murray.
For big money, and he wasn't the guy, and most people knew he wasn't the guy. This Wolf has come in. You're in love with them.
Wolf changes
everything, yet you still, and you have this. I know what you want. You want all the kids coming through together at the same time, and that might not be their team, right? Like it might be a mixed bag of 35 and 22. Like you might not have 8 or 9 or 10 kids in the 25, right? 22 to 27.
What
like
this fan
doesn't
base
always work out that
what
way.
This fan base wants is to get out of what we've seen for basically a quarter century, which
Then you
is
sell
very
up-
mucky middle. And you're honestly, when's Wolf's prime? Give me his age, because I'll tell you how old your best players are at that point.
It's starting right now.
Yeah, and so now it's like, okay, well, if he's good, we got to re-sign Rasmus. He'll turn 30 the first month of probably an 8-year deal.
It doesn't mean that
You're
necessarily.
saying that.
Well, look, I think,
but it does change things. You now have a goalie that you feel really good about.
It's great.
I would think
all that means is you are drafting further away from where you really want to be. So now you need to readjust your expectations, because instead of having a chance to get a top 6 player, you're likely looking at middle 6 or bottom 6.
Yeah, you're looking at New Jersey and Florida's picks in the late 20s and 30s. That's what you're looking at. Those are like easy to swing and miss and not have a player type guys.
So that's what I was going to say in there is if it's 17, 18, 20 as the first plus for a player like that, like you say, they have a lot of drafted players. Take a swing on Dylan Cousins with one of those picks and some. I don't know.
That's not going to interest Buffalo. You're going to have to unload something off your roster. They're not. I'm just. I only brought the name up as a ideal fit.
Yeah, he'd be a good fit here.
He would be a good.
So what's Buffalo looking for?
Something that's going to help them win right now. They're not trying to. They don't need first round picks. They've had first round picks out the ass.
Exactly. So then make the fit for Calgary, because it's easy to say trade 28. They don't want 28.
He said a name that was ideal for the Flames to go after. As far as why wouldn't you? You can't.
I prefaced it and said I cannot make the Flames and Sabres trade partners. They're illogical trade partners.
Yeah. And so then we're back to the empty aisle of right shot centers from 20 to 25. Like,
which highlights my point. How do you find difference makers? That's the biggest challenge the Flames are facing. And all I'm saying is with Wolf, it's getting further away from that than closer.
Saying the draft is a cop-out, though, because not everyone. How many?
Everyone gets draft picks every year, and there's a bunch of bad teams that pick high.
Most impact players were drafted. Johnny Gaudreau was drafted in the 4th round, right? Like the most impact guys are drafted, unless maybe they're playing over in Russia and they slide through the cracks and they come over as a 24-year-old, right? So to say the draft is just an easy.
I just specifically think about centermen. That's all. Like they just don't have any.
Do you want to play the numbers game? Like, so Pinder, because you love the draft so much, of NHL rosters, if you're talking just core players, so I'm talking your top 6 forwards, your top 4D, and your goalie. Mm-hmm. Do you want to guess how many on any given team were actually drafted by that team?
I don't really understand the exercise. Like, are we talking about moving players? Or
no, I'm talking about how do you assemble a team that. I'm not saying a team that competes. I'm saying how do you assemble a team, any team in the NHL, all 32 teams. This is what the numbers are. So your top 6 forwards, your top 4D, and your goalie. How many of those were drafted by the team they play on? Just give me a number.
25%?
18%.
Yeah. Like, and
you have to
you're saying that the only way teams get good is by keeping draft picks and drafting. And he said that like 80.
I'm saying you have to trade. Look at the Florida Panthers. Look at any team. You have 50+% of your roster is acquired via trade.
What you're saying is good players are drafted high. That's true.
Yeah.
But there's different ways.
I'm saying the Flames are not capable of drafting high. We've established this as fact. They will not bottom out.
And when they did, they took Sam Bennett, who was a center, and it didn't work out.
and he's fine. But again, they also had.
But it didn't work out for the
They
Flames.
also had Tkachuk, and you also had Monahan. Like, you've done well at the top of the draft.
But again,
they don't have centers. Show me how they get a center. Everyone can talk about, go get this guy, go get that guy. These are the deals you can't make. They're the hardest deals to make. Go get a young center. Sounds great. It's what Connie said at his opening press conference. We're a year and a half in. They're no closer to getting a young center.
okay.
Now, you have to get those guys in the draft. Like, I get the whole, like, players move. It's not easy. There's no guarantees.
Said,
but like, look
you
at
make it
Henry.
sound so simple. Just trade all your good
it's not
players, be
simple.
bad, and welcome McDavid and McKinnon.
No, but what I would
But
say.
you do. Every time
No,
we
you're-
have this
you're
conversation,
you're simplifying what I'm trying to say.
They got to get stars. When the building's this and when Wolf is that, and you have stars. If
Well,
it were
I mean,
only that easy.
Do you want a cup? Do you want to win a cup if you're Murray Edwards, or do you want to just get playoff revenue? That's the question.
So what should they do? Stop playing Wolf?
No, you keep playing Wolf. Wolf's great. That's unbelievable.
So then whose fault is it if
There's no fault, Dean. It's just you got to be smart. Like, don't extend Rasmus when he turns 30, the first year of an 8-year deal. That would be smart.
I don't understand these conversations, Frank.
Like
I get
that- like-
confused because everyone else in the world wants Rasmus Anderson.
I like Rasmus.
What an asset to have. And
yeah, imagine trading him.
But well, I know, but now you're saying, and then just now he's no good.
Well, he doesn't match their window. That's all.
You don't know what their window is. You keep talking about this window, and you've got it all mapped out in your
Okay,
head.
so how
but
much
it ain't
team
gonna
control
work.
do they have on Wolf? Like, if you ink Wolf to an 8-year deal, that's their window.
Okay, so why is Rasmus Anderson as a 31-year-old not going to be part of that window?
He's just they already have a very reasonable facsimile of him in Uyghur, and
So you
you're
think
already
you're just
starting
going
to
to win
see
with
a little bit of tail off in his underlying metrics, and I just think the better like tactical move would be: here's a guy making $4.5 million that's probably going to get 9 on the open
Okay.
market when the
I'll
cap
just-
jumps to 110. Like, go get some assets for him.
just
all
have
right,
to-
Dylan
just-
Cousins.
Sure.
So that's
I'm
one.
okay with
That's
that.
one player, right? But as far
Yeah.
as their window to win,
Yeah.
take Rasmus out of it.
Mhm.
What if Wolf starts? He's going to be top 10 in save percentage and goals against moving forward.
He
Well,
might finish. He might get Vezina votes this year. I'm
Like,
not
what if
exaggerating.
that's what you're dealing with now? He's not a kid.
No,
He's
I
in his
agree.
early 20s.
It's
So
the
what- how-
greatest thing that's happened all year.
So are you
for
going
the
to take
franchise, for sure.
4 years of the start of his career and say, "Sorry, kid, we need to"?
We
It
need
can't
to
be
roll the
that
dice.
easy.
kind of
Oh,
already did that. They've suppressed him as long as they possibly could and
Oh,
and
sure.
handled him with kid gloves.
For sure.
Mhm. Yeah, the bubble wrap's finally off. He's actually starting
Yeah.
more than every other game now, despite having better numbers all year.
I
than the
just,
other guys.
I you've heard me. Like I've been saying it for years. I want the same approach. Yeah, I want top 5 picks that you can count on, or top 10, and you're like, yeah, we're going to build. The problem that you see in front of you, though, is that it ain't happening, and they aren't going to get there. So you might have to change your tact. I do not. I keep using it as an example, and they went a little bit off the board. And this, Sam Honzek played really well, started the season in Calgary, gave him, you don't hear his name. He was that big centerman, was he not? Like,
No, he's drafted.
but okay, so even if he wasn't, he was their high pick. He was our first rounder that we can't trade away the pick. We can't trade away first rounders.
He's never been the top prospect in the organization. It was always Wolf.
But
and
going
Max
even
Baer.
going into that draft,
This
you would
is
have
what
said you can't
end up
you
with.
can't trade this pick.
Yeah, I agree. I think they could have better with the pick. Like Gabe Perreault's sitting right there.
Okay,
He set the
so-
US MVP
but they
scoring
didn't.
records, but
So
No.
again, Crystal, like looking back,
It's
yeah, that's how
easy,
it should
yeah.
have gone. But you don't have that
he might be
luxury.
fine. Yeah, he's a middle 6 player.
But just in general,
But the point
draft
more we're
philosophy.
making to you is that the draft
So
is
what pick was that?
15.
Yeah, exactly my point. If you're going to pick there, you're not going to get stars.
But you're set.
But
You're-
you're not the roster
just
that
can't-
Craig
I-
Conroy was handed. They're not capable of getting.
I don't know that that's
lower.
true for me. I really don't.
You
Like,
just saw Wolf
like, if-
beat
if
Winnipeg
you-
by himself. Those are the points that
Unless-
keep you from a top 5 pick.
Unless you're buying out Huberdeau and moving Kadri and trading Anderson and cutting off Dustin Wolf's right leg. I'm sorry. I don't see them picking top 5. I don't.
did
and
you
I
see
think they've
Nashville
come to
picking
that
top 5
real-
with Uzi Saros this year? Like, it
Well,
happened.
If
It
you
just does.
if you
I'm
want to,
sorry.
yeah, it could happen. Yeah.
So
Okay.
that's your plan is
No,
to have
no. I'm not saying it's a plan. I'm just saying that even great goalies have years where their teams are bad. Like, I'm sorry, Carey Price had teams.
you don't have to say sorry. I still don't understand the point you're making towards the conversation.
My point is that when you're getting 950 goaltending, don't start thinking your team's good. It's a goalie. And he's going to come back.
They're not thinking their
playing
team. I don't think they're under any disillusion. I don't think
But
they're
if
sitting here
Demko
going,
comes
hey,
back-
we're better than we thought. I think they're saying this is kind of exactly the realm, the world. Like if you were to draw a circle on the NHL standings board before the season started and it said, will the Flames finish in this circle? Like it's within the realm of possibility. Yes.
That they
better than I would have expected. Little on the high end
Oh,
of
hell
the
yeah.
higher end of it, but still,
Yeah.
if you were to say like, hey, we got to hope and pray and wish that our pets' heads fall off like the Nashville Predators this season, and we then somehow luck into it. That's a whole other thing.
Yeah, I'm not out here campaigning for the team to try to lose. I'm not. I just think that there's decisions coming forward that are going to be very telling about their approach, how far
they have to now, because they're now at the point where they're realizing exactly what I'm saying. As uncomfortable as it may be, we are in this spot. We have these pieces that are immovable objects, and therefore we have to adjust our approach, because as much as we would like to do scorched earth and have a full-scale rebuild potentially and get these top players, these star players, we are not capable.
I
For
agree
better or
with
for
you.
worse.
I was all in on the scorched earth policy for last year and even the start of this year. I'm like, they got to throw it out the window. They can't. And I think Wolf has answered those questions. You know,
He's underlined them. He's put an exclamation point at the end of it, which is,
and so if you have that goal, and if you talk about Perek, our first round, he has to play with someone. Like Uyghur and he needs to learn and play, even if he's going to be a star. He's got to have someone beside him, right? You can't him and Hanley.
No,
ain't gonna work, right?
No,
so if you're bringing him along, and this, like I've said, Anderson, sure, and all of this goes back to we don't know what the F you have to give up to get someone, and what's coming back. We can talk in the general idea, but you don't know exactly. And if Dylan Cousins is available, the Flames should be in the conversation to try and get him. If it means giving up the Wolf, probably not, right? Like, yeah, I know you're giggling, but that is the point
that's
of all.
Only untouchable.
All these trades are sure. If it makes sense, you do it.
Right.
And it's not just to put a bow on it. It's not to speed up the process, because that's the point, Pinder, that you've kept making, which is, oh, the timeline's going to speed up. That part I don't think is changing. It's just, if you cannot bottom out, which again, I think we've highlighted, they can't, then what can we do in the meantime to push this along?
That's the thing. I think what it does is it eliminates the scorched earth. We're going to finish dead last, top 2, 3.
That's for sure.
It's just,
just that this summer they're going to have to. I keep bringing up Rasmus, and I feel like people are like, "Why do you hate Rasmus?" I love Rasmus. I think he's a great player.
Hey,
I think there's 6 teams in playoff spots that. There's probably 16 teams in playoff spots when you get there that are like, that would be a guy that's an upgrade on our right side second pair. And it's just like, we don't know what could it be, but like, that is the decision for me. That's going to be.
What do all those teams have in common, Pinder? All those teams are picking in the dead nuts late end of the first round.
Mm-hmm.
How's that helping the Flames?
Well, I didn't say anything about a return. I just think you'd get a lot of assets for him.
Assets that are what? Second rate?
I don't know. If you're Dallas, would you give up Maverick Bork and some other assets for him? Like,
probably not.
Really?
They only got a second for Tanev.
Yeah, and he didn't have 2 years of control, and like is not the value that. I'm sorry, like Anderson's a more valuable asset.
Yes, thank you. But the point is, if let's say you're getting the first, where's Dallas finishing in the standings? They're trading Rasmus Anderson is not going to get you any closer to the star, is my point. If that's the mission, like truly what the mission is, then you have to be dead focused, blinders on. This is our mission, is to get star players. Getting the 24th overall pick from the Dallas Stars doesn't get you any closer. You might as well find a way to try and Keep
What you're
Anderson in
missing
your
is that
group.
their own pick would suddenly, I think, be a top 8 pick if they trade Rasmus. When Kevin Ball is your second best defenseman and your third is Jake Bean, you're not going to be out of the bottom 10. You aren't.
Okay, so then you want to walk in there and tell them this year?
No,
that
I don't think it's an
working
easy
their
decision.
bag off?
I don't think they'll do it. I don't think it's easy, but
What's that going to say to the rest of your team?
totally.
Get
I
me
get
the
it.
F out of here.
Yeah, and that's
What's
the
the
first
point in
domino.
being
And now
here?
it's like Blake Coleman's like, "Why am I here?" And Nazem Kadri says, "Why am I here?" I get it. Like, I'm not.
You
saying
end up
this
with the
is-
exact situation you had last year, which they worked so hard to get out of, which is 5 guys immediately raise their hand and say, "I want out."
See, and this is not like it's Blue Monday, right, Dean?
Yeah, we feel blue today.
So, like, just to make sure, you said put a bow on it. The problem with all of this in any scenario. So if Wolf's good, we'll keep Anderson. We're going. We got to get into playoffs, and this is where we're going to clump up for the next few years. They're going to get shit kicked in the playoffs
If they get in, they can miss
they
playoffs for
don't
5
have
years.
the high end talent to compete in the playoffs. I don't. Wolf
agree.
has to win them the series. They don't have the players, I don't think, that could elevate their game come playoff time to match the teams are going to be going up again.
Their top 2 centers are 34 and 35. Next year they'll be 35 and 36. The year after that they're 36 and 37. Like, this team will not be a legit contender until they find a stud center that's young.
Come on, Conroy, do your job. We've just figured it all out.
That's right.
I just love how we got to a point where Pinder just was like, well, next year they're going to be 35 and 36. And the year after they're going to be 36 and 37. Like,
They have no
Shit,
young
that's how
centers,
that
Frank.
works?
Like, Zeri's been unreal that he could play
Wow.
center, but they don't have centers in the organization. They don't.
okay.
Accurate though, Frank.
Accurate and impressive.
That's right. Appreciate you, pal. Have a good week. Go
See you
Birds.
guys. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know what we did there. There's a
We
lot of
talked.
Oh, you know what?
circling
Hey,
around, but
Sucked.
You know what we did? We did what a ton of people are talking about. Because you feel like, in a way, it's sexy. Let's bottom out. I want a number 1 pick with top 10, get all these
Look at
picks.
this Macklin Celebrini guy. Holy.
Yeah.
Kale McCarr, 4th. Oh,
Awesome.
yeah, you look at Colorado, you're like, oh, McCarr, top 4 pick. Rantanen, okay, that's top
There's
10
no
pick.
debating.
McKinnon, number 1. Landeskog, he's
That's where those guys get drafted.
all those cup teams have a bunch of high picks.
But I don't know what you do when you aren't that team that earned that pick. What do? Colorado stunk to get McKinnon.
Mhm.
They were really bad.
And it worked. They won a cup.
So what do you do if you're Craig Conroy and your team we're not as bad as Colorado was there, or as Chicago was when they got Kane, or I mean, whatever the year may be.
Buffalo.
if they come back next year, do you think, if we sit in the summer, like pretend the season ends today, do you think this is a playoff team next year?
The bigger thing to me is, and I'm not wanting to answer your question, Wolf changes everything.
Yeah,
I think they're in the same spot
Goaltending
when they-
hides so many warts. You could be an awful team.
Look at
and
Kipper.
that's kind of what,
which is the
we're
problem.
in.
Kipper for years.
To me, that was this conversation was about, does Wolf change it? And I think it does. It doesn't mean, oh, we're good now. Let's go get players.
No,
That's not it. It's okay. I guess we're not going to bottom right out. So
Yeah.
now what? Now
And
where
this
do
is-
we go from here?
this is all this circular conversation that's probably really annoying for some people is illustrating is that there is no simple, clear path of this is easy and suddenly we're good.
No,
And I know
you
you're trying to
gotta-
say, oh, you just
you
give me a
have
bad
to
draft, how you'll be
hit-
good. No, like there is risk in all these paths. You can be old and not that good and have a great goaltender and finish 9th every year. Like
We saw that for a long time.
and it feels like that's what you're going to get this year, doesn't it? Like if they finish 9th in the West,
I
you'd be
totally
shocked,
think that's what they're going to get. And
right?
my
And so-
my stupid.
What do you do?
What do
Do
you
you bring
do?
everyone back and be like,
Because-
hey, maybe next year we'll also finish 9th?
But
Like-
is the best path not doing anything and just like Frank said? Because I keep going back to this comment too. Yes, stupid. We had noodles on. We need to go get a centerman. And yeah, easy to do. Their scoring's terrible. If they'd have done it months ago, but I guess the question is, do you go with ride it out, or do you put a plan? No, this is my hard and true.
Yeah, like if you feel you're going to be mucky middle, do you languish or do you say, well, we may as well try and get in? Let's try and be a playoff
I
team.
think
Or
that's how you-
sell.
And if it doesn't mean
Or
go get the 31-year-old UFA and give up a first rounder for it. But it just changes maybe your philosophy that you had coming into the season as to a 5-year plan, a 3-year plan.
If your fear is Mucky Middle, I don't know that this year has been easing your fears.
No, and it doesn't ease my fears for next year, because what's the team next year?
Exactly,
it's the exact same effing thing.
And that's why I think the Rasmus decision is so key. And it doesn't have to go one way or the other. I'm not saying there's right and wrong. We don't know what the return would be. We don't know what his salary ask is, but this team's just good enough that you could, for the next few years, think, yeah, we'll spend and add, and we got all this cap space. But that's what you've got here, right? Like, you're going to Troy Brouwer and Travis Hamonic and James Neal yourself.
That's what we're saying is not the case.
Yeah,
no, but that's what do you mean that's not the case? Like,
you're saying we got to be careful that if that is your approach, please don't make it your approach.
Yeah,
no one is saying
that's the fear, is that you have $20 million cap space and you have this young goalie. It's like, well, shoot. I mean, maybe we could dip our toe in.
But
I'll just say this: I have way more confidence this time around that that's not going to happen.
I have.
Do you share
I have confidence, but I'll tell you what: there's going to be a lot of temptation out there. Darcy Regier was a GM in Buffalo forever. No owner, no money, no nothing. Ran it tight as tight can be, and had decent success because there was we have to operate this.
There's a path.
Owner comes in. Here's a checkbook. Go make it happen. Complete shit show since.
Yeah, what was it? Like Ville Husso? No, it was the
defenseman, Ville Husso.
Not Husso.
Leno, and then the 8-year deal for a D-man.
Yeah.
Like, it was
Ehrhoff.
It was a team that knew when assets got to a certain point, we have to turn them into younger assets.
Yep.
And that was their philosophy on how they built. And it made sense. And when they had to abandon that, they didn't know what to do.
No, and that's to my point with Conroy is he is a new GM. He knows the game. I trust all that shit. But you got $20 million in cap space. You're looking at that going, if I had another 40-point guy, we've got more points. We are going to make the playoffs. I didn't spend any of that money. Like, there's going to be temptations there both ways. You better have I hope he has a real clear idea of what he wants to do, because going back and forth like we're doing, probably not. Like, you're weighing all kinds of options, but I don't like the idea that our GM's doing that.
And using the cap space is different than selling off picks for players. How do we weaponize? How do we best use this? If it gets us a decent player that doesn't, maybe he is older, but if it brings with it still an asset, but can help us, that I think there is that kind of an opportunity. But did Sabres fans have confidence in Darcy Regier back then?
No.
When Pagula came in?
Regeerts for about it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, no regerts. You can't.
No, there's no
sense. Can't do it.
They should be a bank at the deadline.
Yeah.
Like, you know what Arizona did for like 5 years? It was, we'll take an expensive guy, we'll eat half, we'll move it along, give us a pick. And again, I don't want to fall into the whole like prospect porn trap where all your young players are great, but like Henry Muse in the third, you redraft, he's a first round player. Like, there's some great players that the draft class they just had has been received by people that are very smart on the draft as one of the best they've seen in ages. And so if you can just keep adding seconds and thirds, be a bank, use those first. You got Vegas's unprotected.
You could just as easily spin it and say, okay, we've got some prospects that we like, we can move forward. And everybody's prospects in 8 months after the draft, everyone's still very high about them.
I know what you're saying.
It's too close to it still.
This isn't Honzik. Like, this was a superb draft.
But why isn't Honzik part of that, their draft? Like, they picked Honzik.
They did.
You don't get to. You don't get to shuffle that pick away and say that's not part of what we've done. He's
probably their 5th or 6th best prospect right now. Like,
but why is that? Like, you're saying on one hand they do the best job ever.
No, I said
on the other hand, right? Like, it's an averaged out thing. Like, you can't hand pick that 7th round pick that turned into a superstar and go, these guys are good at drafting.
Maybe there was a deal 3 years ago that would have included that pick that would have made you better today with a player, right?
Like an Eichel or something. Sure. Yeah.
So
No, and again, it was Connie's first draft. I look at Treliving's first draft, and it had Brian Burke's fingerprints all over it. It was the Hunter Smith and big, huge dudes. It was not really. I think what I'm hopeful is that Connie's built the scouting department that he wants in his vision, rather than show up to the draft how many months into the job and working off lists that the other GM assembled that staff.
Well, I'll ask you. Do you have confidence in?
I do. I think he will be very patient, and I think he's not falling for the fool's gold of like, if you give this team average goaltending, where are they in the standings? That's what I keep asking myself. I think they're right where we thought they'd be. So don't trick yourself into thinking that you've got this great team so much as you have an elite goalie and a hardworking, competent team that's well coached and has structure, but you're no closer to contention than you were a year ago.
But
like, you've gone from bottom 10 to middle 10, and that's almost a worse spot to be in a weird way.
I know you want it. I know you want it badly to work out.
No, I don't want anything. I'm just thinking, like, I hope this organization we've watched for 25 years and there's been too much mucky middle. I don't want to see more of that.
Well, here's the thing. Truthfully, though, I mean, if you want to get really bad and you want to be ready, you should trade Wolf.
No, Wolf you have for 9 years. That you don't trade Wolf at all. No. What you should do is trade Rasmus because he turns 30 in the first month of his new deal. That's the trade you make. And you're not going to be out of the top 10 picks if you trade Rasmus.
I think that's my confidence is high if he chooses a path. And if he chooses a path to move Rasmus Anderson, then move them all.
Yeah, I agree. It would be Kadri and Coleman would follow.
There's no effing reason to trade Rasmus Anderson and not anyone else.
Yeah, like, you're stuck with Huberdeau. It's not a movable contract because of the way it's structured. And that's not to say
Kadri, Coleman.
But Kadri, it's like, okay, now you got to work on, like, how much money do we to get that out? Coleman's like, I got 2 years left. He's won cups. He's a very nice third line player. It would be a very, very significant direction chosen. And I wonder if they're scared to make that decision. Because you see the Buffaloes, and it isn't that easy, and there are failed rebuilds. And what about ticket sales?
Well, and
what about
they're going to have a sense of what this team is all about and how they get along. We talk about the dysfunction of the Canucks and why they're not having success. Part of the reason the Flames have to be having success is that, to me anyway, it feels like they do like playing together.
Mm-hmm.
Like it,
and there's no free agents this year. Like, I'm sorry, last year
got rid of the guys that want out. Yeah.
The whole room. And so what is it like next year when Rasmus is in his walk year? I don't know. Have they got him signed by then? Is he a free agent in November? Like, that'll affect the room. Just like it affected Lindholm and Hanifin and Tanev, Zadorov. It's a little quiet spot here, but they're really not. They haven't accomplished a ton. It's amazing that what you hoped Wolf could be, it looks like he's going to become.
We'll move on. Because I feel like we'll be talking about Rasmus for a long time.
I agree.
But that is one where I still don't know where I get it. Yeah. You should be able to move him and get something great. But what if you don't? Does that?
Well, you don't do the deal.
Then you don't do it. So then if you don't do the deal, are you talking about signing him? So you maybe are.
I don't really worry about the market being,
because you're not going to let him go to UFA.
Can't.
So you did.
Can't.
What are you going to do?
And
but another year from now, you're going to know your team better too, and some of the kids that come along. So maybe move.
What's the number? And then the other thing is like, all their D-men that you like that have some ceiling are righties. It's Ristevich, it's Perrick, it's Muse. They're all righties.
Oh, and they're all so unproven and young.
No, I know, but some of them will be really good players. They won't all be, but they're just all righties. It's wild. And that's not the end of the world. Like, Weegar plays the left side. I get it, but
403-219-4100. CrystalClearCalgary.com.
There you go.
Whew. That was a lot of like really sportsy stuff there. Like,
and I don't know that we're any further along.
No,
I don't think
because it's just a conversation.
So it makes it great. I would be willing to bet that there's some Iginla, Conroy, the inner workings. They have maybe less heated, but similar.
I don't even know it was heated. It's just like, it's an interesting spot there, isn't it?
Well, because you can make an argument for.
And they don't have anyone that's expiring this year of note. Like Kuzmenko could have been a thing. He hasn't been.
The one thing that they do have is picks coming up. They've made some moves. They have an abundance of picks. They have cap space.
And
They're not
$20 million in cap
They're
space.
not in a horrible spot. It's just maybe
million
not the
before Vladar and Kuzmenko off the books.
Yeah.
Like you're looking at probably closer to 30-35 million. Cap goes up. Expensive guys leave.
Pinder Report. You ready?
Yeah, I'm in.
All right.
I've talked a lot already. I don't know about this.
Look at the poor guy. I mean,
I feel like you're up.
He doesn't do it to
There
himself.
better be some kangaroos or some
I
shit.
feel like you're the guy
Just
for it.
play the videos.
The annual demo sales event is on now at Village Honda. The demo, it's a vehicle that's been used so gingerly.
Oh, it's not a
Gently.
it's not a demolition.
No,
Oh.
it's a
Demonstration.
demonstrator. So if you
Good.
I'm really wondering what the Honda CRV is like. Well, we have a demo here. It's like new. You'll get a very accurate interpretation. You're going to have the full CRV experience. You're going to feel that.
Then just bring it right back.
Well, that was for 2024, you see. So if you wanted to, what I'm telling you is, it's like they prop them up on pillows at night. They tuck them in nice in the back, all the demos in the back. Take extra good care. 2024s, they got to get them out now.
Reading them Goodnight Moon every night.
Yep. Yeah. Limited inventory, but some real good savings on them if you connect with one, that CRV and me, that 2024 and me, just the one I want. Just like that. We're just like that. VillageHonda.com.
Dustin Wolf, Dustin Wolf, Dustin Wolf, Dustin Wolf. There it is. Pike bomb. I need it, Dean. Sorry.
Is it
Should I
Pike?
even- No, it's a Pike. We already
all
had
Pike bomb, pike bomb. It's a pike bomb. Pike bomb, baby, big pike bomb, pike bomb, pike bomb. It's a pike bomb. Get ready for a big pike bomb.
What you've seen is a very good rookie start looking like a great rookie over the last month or so. Like mid-December is where Pike's got it. Last 15 games, 928, 208, 8-2-1. Those are a lot of numbers. They're all good. They're all very, very good. Meanwhile, Dan Vladar, you haven't won since a long time.
Is it still a Pike bomb when it's not like breaking news? It's just kind of his
I feel like
statistical.
it's
it's like
just-
just
yeah.
analysis of.
Could have used a half bomb there. It's kind of like a,
just the
like a Pike grenade.
Pike bomb.
what's that?
Pike bomb.
Not the whole song.
Pike bomb.
Ryan, back to you.
Thank you, Dean. What else do we got going on the old
Why is Pike got to make
FlamesNation?
fun of?
Oh, look at this.
Too.
old friends?
Oh my goodness gracious!
Don't do it.
I disagree
Don't-
wholeheartedly.
That's Riley.
I guess we should tell for people that are just listening.
Why the Flames should claim Derek Ryan off NHL waivers. Now, I will say this. I do believe he can do better than what Kevin Rooney's given you for the last month and a half, which has been trash.
So he's better
Also
than trash.
doesn't mean that he's a good player.
Nope.
No bueno.
Roy Cairns is right there, boys. He plays center. He's right there.
Sorry, Riley.
Irish Fox.
No!
He was
Take that. Shove it.
You ever wonder
I should read the article.
what the hierarchy of Connors is in the NHL?
A lot, yeah.
Yeah,
Like
me too. I
guys
spent
that
a
are
lot of
named
time.
Con.
Well, here's
Yeah.
the thing. Rather than losing sleep over it, Dean, I want you to read this article.
Okay.
Re-ranking, where Connor Zary ranks among the NHL's many Connors.
Hmm.
Hmm.
I mean, you got McDavid, Bedard, Hellebuck. There's a lot of good Connors, eh?
Hmm.
Eh?
Yep.
Eh?
So that article's on the website,
Yeah.
FlamesNation.ca?
Yeah.
Well, I know
It's
what
a
I'm
re-ranking
doing.
because I remember you read the first
Can't
ranking.
wait for this
Yeah.
show to end.
They've shuffled. Yeah. It's a lot. Let's look at the standings in the West. Calgary Flames hold down the second wild card. A 1-point edge over the Vancouver Canucks. Both teams. How many games left, Rhett? Do the math.
37.
Close. No?
37.
Oh.
Yeah. Rhett nailed it there. Good math, bud. Proud of you.
Advanced.
1 point. 1 point. And apparently a JT Miller deal fell through on the weekend. I don't know how firm that is versus rumors, but
Yeah, we didn't even ask.
it's coming to a head there.
If we could have had a Frank bomb.
Yeah, we got to
If he'd have had that
stuff.
Can you imagine if they used some of that 20 million in cap space? Some of them would have like
No, this is great. The owner gets to
6 more
save some money.
points.
That's what everyone's cheering for, right?
playoffs.
Save yourself 20 mil, bud. Schedule looks like this. What do we got? We talked about that big road swing. They're almost done it. In fact, they're opening a large stretch of home games. They will play 7 of 8 at home once they get back from Winnipeg, where they just were, but they're home from, and they're going to head right back there. 1 game homestand, 2 game road trip, home for 6 to 7. Okay. And Ovi will be chasing Wayne when he comes through town. That'll be a fun one. Take your kids to see Ovi.
Go see Ovi.
Go see him.
He's not going to be here forever.
He'd go see you if you were playing.
Yeah. Go to warm up. Watch him rip pucks.
Sure.
Yeah. Have you guys heard about this dirty scumbag, Connor McDavid? Because we showed a highlight last week.
Well, he's on that list of Connors.
Yeah, he is.
I know that.
Yeah, the greasiest one after that elbow last week.
2 Connors there.
And look at this. He's dry humping Garland.
Don't let your kids watch this.
Gives him a punch in the back of the head.
He's like, hey, let go of me, you.
And then it's like, you know what? I'm kind of fed up with this bonk.
Oh,
that's a cross check to the face, Red.
Garland should have sold it more. Down.
The beautiful thing about this is that later in the same sequence, late in this game on Saturday, Tyler Myers did essentially the same thing, which is brilliant because now we get to say, hey, NHL, same scenario, same crime, your move.
Yeah, like just seconds later.
Yeah, like tell us what the suspensions are because
you got a dart in your neck. Maybe that's what was
he saying?
Yeah, he's got a fucking dart in his neck. Yeah, it's awesome.
Awesome.
Thoughts? Suspensions?
I would think you
kind of have to.
Don't you have to?
Yeah. I'll say this though. I don't like if I'm the Oilers. I don't like not having McDavid,
but
I'm all right with it.
Yeah, sure.
That guy's going to be laying all over. Go ahead, stick him in the teeth.
They're tied for first in the Pacific, and nothing in the regular season matters for the Oilers. It's another cup or bust year. Last year, remember, they busted.
Connor Garland.
They went away from cup, but that's
them's
the rules. It's cup or bust. It's a bust if you don't win the cup. So they busted last year. We'll see.
Turtleneck.
That'd be a good shirt for them. Like Cupper, C-U-P-P-E-R, bust, Cupper bust.
Would it?
Yep. I'm going to bring it up this weekend.
You can get that made.
Yeah. Do you think they'll like that?
No.
I don't think so.
Jack's boy, Alex Delkovich.
Needle Dick.
Yeah, that's your boy.
Oh,
what a night.
Not Russ Wilson.
Now, there's 2 things. Before you do, just because the clip is labeled Needle Dick. Secondly, needle is spelled N-E-D-D-L-E.
Nedla.
Jesus, Jack.
Needle Dick.
Nedle.
Spelling's atrocious. It's quite.
Let's get to the clip.
Crazy.
Back to you, Jack.
Is it slowed down?
Believe it. You told me that was the case. Yeah, that's right.
So first goalie in NHL history with a goal and an assist.
Are we playing this because you're a Pittsburgh fan?
It's a goalie goal, Red. Don't
This
fight
is
it.
history,
Oh,
Red. You just watch history.
Yeah, lucky me.
And number 67 there, Ryan.
Sad to have missed it.
Ricky Rax.
That's right.
It's Jack's boy. He's very hot and heavy on Ricky Rax right now.
And give
Did
him
look
a
like
call.
Miro.
Come on, Miro. Let's go.
Tonight's slate. What do we
Happy
got?
for you, Jack. Congrats on that.
Yeah, awesome. Glad that got
Congrats to
in
you
Yeah.
and old ND.
Happy
Good
for
him.
you, yeah.
It's already a game underway, fellas. It's Martin Luther King Day.
It is.
So happy MLK Day to everyone. Bruins and Shocks. Wallaby Wooten Hard. That one's on right now.
That's right.
Wallaby Wooten Hard is
Yeah.
tough to watch.
Some good ones.
Are we
though.
happy to watch the Bruins?
Yeah, I
soil
kind of like that.
themselves? So do
I
I.
like it.
I am
And I like
good with
Ottawa pressing, and I like Detroit getting their shit together. and I-
Boston can go.
I'll say
away.
this. You know what? I don't like Marchand and Pasta taken in the teeth.
Marchand's up at the end of the year. No
Like
one's
that's a
talking about
team thing. And I would think not watching a ton of Bruins games start to finish, but I would think if there might be some guys that could be
that. Yeah, you like those.
clear of some taking some shit and abuse, it might be those guys.
Marchand, remember that deal was going to get done in the fall? Still not
Mhm.
done.
Still
UFA
not
this
done.
summer.
Elliot. Idiot.
Not an idiot, but the Bruins might be if they let that guy out.
Yeah.
Or maybe they're smart. Like
Maybe.
you. Gotta let him
Yeah,
go.
maybe.
He's getting old.
Maybe.
Hey, Lindholm, come here for 8. Get out of here, Marchand. Goalie fight. Let's go. We're not just showing this because it's the Penguins, because it isn't the Penguins. We're just
No.
showing you cool shit.
Settled
This
in.
is from the UCHL.
Oh,
A lot of throws, not a lot of lands.
Oh, he hit him. No.
The bald head
All
belly
right.
there with the wind. It's
Still
right
hit,
there at
so
the
it
end.
was good. 4.
Am I leaking?
That's all right.
Hey?
Yeah. And I'll accept it. It's not great, but it's a goalie fight. We'll take
They're scrapping.
something's better than none.
Playing with meaning.
Let's go to the NFL. What do we got, Jack? We are down to the final 4. Oh, baby. Look at it. There's the bracket. Bills,
Just
Chiefs,
beautiful.
Commanders, Eagles. Pretty good.
I think there's enough love for this Washington team.
It's interesting. Let's go to the lines. We'll see exactly how much love everyone's getting. Commanders plus 5.5. Bills plus 2. Again, it's been bouncing around between 1.5 and 2 all day.
I want 2.
Yeah, go get 2. Might be gone by now, but 2 feels like a lot. They beat KC this year. It is in KC. KC has not really been that overwhelming. Even the Houston game, it's like, yeah, they won, but
You know what they're good at?
Checo's not really
Letting their opponents blow themselves up.
totally 100%. They game plan, they scheme, they're not dominant, they win.
It's like we can't let them have the ball. We got field goals aren't going to cut it. We got to do something. It's Mahomes, it's Kelsey, and then they step on their sack. Oh, okay, so you win again.
Yeah, it's a lot. There it is, Rhett.
Please.
Jack, did you get the script from Goodell? What's happening here?
The refs will be heavily involved,
Oh, good.
but the Bills will win.
Oh, wow. What a script.
Thanks, Roger.
Wait, Raj?
How about that?
It's happens. You build a new stadium. The commission
He's
loves it.
learning from.
Who would you
Vin-
rather
Was
play?
he learning
Rhett?
from Vince?
This is
Maybe.
good. I like this question.
Who would you rather play, the Eagles or the Commanders?
Don't answer it. Jinx.
Is that a jinx?
Jinxie
a heavy
pants. Don't
jinx.
say it.
He's walking right into the bear trap.
You're just going to be happy to be there.
Don't step on
Need to
that.
play well.
You got to worry about yourself, Jack.
That's right.
I've been
Yeah.
through the ringer before.
Good for you.
Can't be worrying about the other team. We got to make the other team come play our game.
That's right.
You guys see AJ Brown's reading that book?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a new book this week.
Did he?
Yeah, it's called How to Catch.
Oh.
He's
Didn't he have like one
not done it.
target? Like it was.
Yeah, he got like 7 yards and all that. Yeah.
Terrible.
Cowboys still suck, eh?
Why? They fired that coach. They'll be
No,
good
it's
now.
Jerry. That's why. Look, here it is. Yeah, they now have the longest drought from an NFC championship game since the Washingtons got in.
Because I was 92
Oof.
Really?
for Washington.
Washington.
Washington back to 1992.
Speaking of which, that Jaden Daniels fellow looks pretty darn good at football
Yeah.
because he is. And he's
Yeah.
doing things that you don't really do as a rookie. Usually you suck as a rookie. Okay, here it is. In the history of the common draft since 1967, 59 quarterbacks have been taken in the top 4. Daniels is the 59.
Shit.
Jaden
What you said.
Daniels will be the first to start a championship game.
Injuries? Some other guys have injuries.
First.
Top 4 picks.
Yeah, why would you want to pick high? Sorry.
I could show you enough.
Because he's the 6th rookie to start a conference championship game. Guess it wasn't top 4 picks.
There
Guys
you go.
lower down the draft.
Yes. You're a big meal prepper at your house, aren't you, dude?
Prepper?
Like you prep the meals.
Pooper.
Meal prep. Meal poop?
Yeah. Meal, poop. In that order.
All right.
This is your sign to start meal prepping your milk and cookies. It's super convenient and saves lots of time. Enjoy.
This is great.
What? Like
That is the lowest of the lowest humor you could find.
It's- I mean-
he's dying.
Jack loves it.
Look at him.
Jack loves it.
It's a
I mean,
close up of
It's the new thing.
milk
It's
beer.
the
It's
milk.
now milk.
It's
We've
a
gone
milk
from-
run. It's a milk run.
milk and a
We are
chocolate
on a
chip
milk
cookie.
run.
We're dying.
We're on
This
a
is
milk run.
hilarious.
A year ago, it was kangaroos fighting guys in hand-to-hand combat.
Funny you bring that up today.
Oh.
Now, it's dairy.
Well, you know what it is? It's very valuable. Liquid assets.
Tell you, there's never been a better example. Rest assured, internet, the algorithm it works
It does work.
because Ryan played one video with milk in it, and we've seen 8, 10, 12 milk videos in the last week.
You were away.
Baby girl, I'm finna rock your face.
Are they?
I don't know what's happening.
Is there
Are you guys
bag
on
of
edibles?
mushrooms in here? What
What is happening, you two?
that is, I'm sorry, not funny.
And Jack is howling. Remember when he would, now he's on board.
Yeah.
Before it'd be like, well, it's the Pinder Report. I have no control
I'm totally
over it.
on board with this.
That's
Yeah.
the milk run. We're on the milk run. It'll die out. It'll peter out. But
A
right
milk
now,
run.
we are right in the meat of the milk run.
Can't believe you're not doing this at home with your social media
Some
account.
content creation.
Yeah.
You ever try to catch like
The best
grapes
mouth
in milk?
is. Hit me. 15 throws. No cuts, no edits. 5 grapes, baby. Good throw, son. Uvas. Here we go. Oh, boy, 3. There she is, number 4 on the move. Oh, boy. Can we go 5 for 5 with the grapes? Yes, we can. Marshmallow time. Oh, wow.
This was tough.
Ow. They're kind of hard from the wind of the winter. Over my head. We missed one. Here's another one. Boy. Another.
See what's going on.
Jaden Daniels tossing these things?
Oh.
See what's going on with marshmallows.
Boy. Hit me with the oranges.
Hope it's a cinder
These are
block.
going to feel great. Boy. Boy.
It's pieces of orange.
The juice is loose. Oh.
Mandarins.
That's a drop.
Oh, jeez.
Here we go.
Jeez, that sound is.
One last one.
Why?
Are those whole?
Boy. Not too shabby. Ow.
Don't ask why. We'll keep moving. What did you say a year ago? We were doing all the Pinder Report all the time. Guys fighting kangaroos.
I'm not playing.
Why you
your
play
game.
what? I just asked.
Yeah,
you.
it was hand-to-hand combat.
All right,
of course. Same one. This is like 5 years old.
Get it right.
This is the.
This is so good.
Is there no statute of limitations?
Come on, get over here, Copper. Let's go. I don't know. I wasn't sure if we'd seen it before. There's been so many
Quality.
It's so
Pinder
old.
reports since.
It's really
Like, come on.
Okay, well, this is new
Right?
for sure. You're a big food prep guy. This has nothing to do with milk. Now, everyone's got these like tips and tricks and little hacks, life hacks. You like life hacks, right, Jack?
Yeah.
Here's a way.
It's a lot of things.
This is a great life hack here. Let's go. He's got a toilet seat. That's kind of odd.
Drilling holes.
And then he's got elastics.
Around one side, pull across.
Yeah.
After I complete this last step,
Okay.
I'll show you how to use this.
Just putting the elastics on the toilet seat.
So instead of going this way, we're now
Yeah,
going to
now we
go
go
the
the
long
other.
way. So we'll start with.
You're
this
getting a
right
grid,
here.
Dean.
Now you're going to go to that.
What are we gonna?
Give you guys a better view.
Thanks.
Let me stretch it all.
It's
the
a
way
lot
out.
there. Yeah.
So I'm going to set the camera back up. Take this homemade pasta. We're going to take it and pour it right into the toilet. Notice how it collects all the pasta perfectly. Take this lid, you're going to bring it down and give it a good push. You can pick it up, bring it right to the kitchen.
Then you have company over. It's our homemade pasta. Please enjoy.
It's a long weekend for us, I think.
This clip is called "Rest in Peace, Boomer." This is a Texas brisket that a man is.
It's not his knee and leg that
He's gonna
sous vide.
he's sous videing in his bathtub, Brett. It's like a thermometer, Dean.
Not in the hotel.
Why not? They're so clean. Looks like it's almost done. The old bathtub brisket. Is that a song? Yeah, probably. Yeah. Oh, that sink looks really good. I'm sorry, dude. Anyway, good to see you. Still doing
What a weekend.
Yeah, busy guy.
What a weekend for you, Boom.
What a show.
It has. It's
We had
kinda
about
come out of
40
left
minutes
field.
of heated, hardcore sports talk, followed up by
Milk drawers.
spaghetti toilet, bathtub brisket, milk drawers.
It's a dumb show, and we do it every day. That's your Pinder Report.
The 2025 Honda Civic Hybrid named winner of the North American Car of the Year for a record-setting 4th time. Makes you want to drive it, doesn't it?
Sure does, dude.
You can do it.
Yeah.
Let's get up there.
Village Honda, Northwest Auto Mall, your dealership for life. Take one out for a rip. That's what you would do.
Stuff for.
Were you classy when you won, or were you yourself?
The kids won. I didn't win.
Yeah, but you feel very important. I mean,
All right, look at this. Hey, fellas, well done. Great team, special kids.
oh,
Congrats to the
yeah,
kids.
they're so special.
They really are. Yeah.
Fucking spoiled, rotten
Jeez.
pricks.
Yeah.
Whoa.
All Glen Lake final. Rhett's just dying. Yeah.
So it's Tier 1 South?
We are in the South. That's
I
correct.
see.
Yeah.
So not really cities.
Cities is later.
That's
SO is
how
North and
SO
South.
works,
Congrats
dude.
to the
Come on.
fellas.
Yes, so. Okay.
A lot of
Yeah,
fun.
way to go, Glen Lake.
Yep.
And Kuntz's team.
Really?
I'm proud of you.
Goody.
Tough news was confirmed earlier today. This weekend, we're going to the Jasper Pond Hockey Tournament. And Jay Rosehill was here.
Rosie.
You missed him. He was right.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I was a bit late. I was almost.
He grabbed some gear, and that he's not going to be attending the Jasper Pond.
Well, he's had enough of Pinder. I think what I've learned is that he's Pindered out.
Frank Seravalli also not attending
I'm noticing a theme.
Jasper.
Well,
And
friends.
people that haven't met me before, they are coming, but it'll be their last.
It
one
will be
as
their
well.
last. I hope they enjoy their one
First
and only
and
time.
final.
Johnny Lazarus, whoever you are, welcome in, bud.
Wait.
Yeah,
See you never.
Wait. Frank's got the Eagles game too.
it's true.
Yeah.
He's already got Super Bowl tickets.
Wow, you should go with Frank.
I don't think Frank would be tagged.
Just
Well, he
needs
needs
a
a
bottle of
room.
whiskey, but
We'd
He's gonna
probably
sort that out.
What do they say in Shoresy? Don't pole to pole or hole to hole. You don't go pole to hole. So we're heading to Jasper without when you're sharing a bed, eh?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't share rooms. We'll get our own rooms. We'll
Okay.
figure that shit.
Booster Juice is the proud puck partner for the Jasper Pond Hockey Tournament coming up this weekend on Lake Mildred.
Mildred.
Powered by Booster Juice, visit a location today. Refuel, refresh, re-energize, or download their new Booster Rewards app to earn, order, and enjoy. You get those points, eh?
Berry points.
Berry points. Yeah.
Those berry points. You add them up, and then look at this. You're going to be enjoying some delicious, sweet Booster Juice free of charge. And, of course, Yeti. They are taking care of us because it can be the conditions. Oh, it might be a bit chilly. You know who's ready for chilly or cold or brisk or just
Whatever weather.
whatever
Yeti.
weather?
Yeti's
It's
ready.
Yeti.
Yeah.
We are going to have some coolers and chairs and blankets and a tent, some mugs.
Spoiled almost.
It's a perfect setup.
Totally spoiled.
We're
going full Glen Lake up there.
You and Lazarus.
Yeah. But it's very, I'll give them credit. The people using their heads. We're going into what could be inclement weather and windy and cold.
Going into the mountains in winter, Dean, eh?
We're going into the mountains. We need some Yeti. Crave the cold and extend your ice time with hard-hitting gear that's built to honor the toughest sport on earth. Hashtag crave the cold. Hashtag built for the wild. You know what I saw today?
Built for the wild.
Yeah.
Wow,
They have, it's great. I don't know if it's on CA, but I just, because I'm a Yeti guy. I'm on the mailing list and that sort of thing. I got the email. They have AI now to create the logo on your cup.
Come on.
So you can go like 10-pin bowling bear. They'll find a logo of a bear. 10-pin.
You've done that. That didn't just pop into your brain.
you've
You
done
have
that for
gone to AI and said,
No, I'll
10-pin
see if I can
bowling
find. Let me see if I can find it.
So you could go like drawer
I
of
like
milk.
that.
Do
and
you?
have the
a
logo.
10-pin bowling
right.
bear? That's awesome.
I like that.
I figured you might. Yeah, I figured you might.
Like a big burly, like grizzly, not a scrawny little brown bear.
Because they had a few different. It's not going to work here. Anyway, go to Yeti.ca.
All right.
Figure it out.
Figure it out.
Figure.
Thank you, Yeti.
It's the old Dean's orders.
Hashtag built for the wild.
It's a gearhead.
Like stuff.
It's a gearhead.
I like finding deals. It's like it's like
You
your
like-
father-in-law.
You like finding things that
That's
think are deals.
That's a good price for ramps. I'd definitely not use those for.
Yeah,
apps,
if
okay?
I could get
You
those
sit
ramps
there.
for that price, I'd buy them.
I can't afford not to.
Store them myself.
I don't use the ramps. I don't have ramps anymore.
Exactly the point.
Yep.
I have a heavy duty.
As we were saying.
No, I upgraded. I have a
Just-
heavy duty floor jack and jack stands.
Even better.
How do you get your differential oil changed? Your fluid in your
I go to
Village Honda.
Village Honda. Trust the professionals.
What do you do when it's time to put on summer tires? You don't have a heavy duty floor jack and jack stands to
Not in my little 1-car garage that doesn't have room for.
Yeah, that's what
anything in
you've
it.
got is the one car
Right,
garage.
yeah.
So my daughter is in the Ringette Golden Ring this
Is
weekend.
that still going or is
So
it
is
done?
that the
Done
big
now.
thing compared to the like?
Yeah, same. Golden Ring,
Yeah,
right?
but it happened just in one weekend. It's a
Gotcha.
3-4 day tournament kind of thing. Anyway, I'm at Winsport. The nice thing about Ringette is you get to see the whole city. So it's like
Oh,
Don,
yeah, yeah.
Don Hartman, Winsport,
Do it all.
Great Plains. You get to see it all.
Nice rink.
There's a couple of. You got the 3 sheets. Somehow the girls were on the big ice, and then on the two other rinks there's some serious hockey going on here.
Really?
Big, like strong. This is men out there.
Ooh.
So I'm just kind of watching along the glass. I'm like, I don't know.
What's that?
I don't know what that
Eyes
team
aren't
is.
what they used to be.
Don't know what that team is. And then this defenseman comes like right towards, like right. I'm saying just to the left of the goal.
Mhm.
Right, if you're on. Guys, D-man comes swinging behind the net, grabs the puck, guy in hot pursuit. Warner on his back. Warner.
Come on.
Yep.
You said you don't play anymore. It's some imposters?
That's his kid.
Somebody.
Oh, wow.
I saw the boy.
What a treat for you.
Large human.
He's a big kid.
Yeah. Bigger than dad already?
Oh, yeah.
Has been for a while.
Years.
I heard.
What are we, 6'3"?
Yep.
Maybe a little. How'd you do? Who are you playing?
CIHA, the team that lost in the final there at
Oh.
the Circle K.
Yeah.
Cha.
Got it. Got it.
Yeah. Can't score. Guys, nobody
Yeah.
passes the puck.
Not your kid's fault. He's D-man.
It's not his fault.
Not his job to score.
Just ask him.
Yeah, perfect. Did my job.
Had mine. Yeah. So I figured I'd like, hey, this Warner kid's pretty good. Just to see what the response would be. Fucking soft. Yeah.
Likes to throw. He's a great pitcher. Loves the no-hitter.
Yeah.
Oh.
Come on now. You gotta love that though. That's high caliber kid hockey. Your kids
It's fun
in it.
hockey to watch. For
You
sure.
got. I just know what we all know
it's-
as parents when your kids are playing hockey and at that's you look forward to those games.
Hell
It's
yeah.
awesome.
I just think how much fun. Like we just went to full ice this year. That's just like, here we are.
Oh, yeah.
Offsides changed on the fly. Oh baby, here we go.
That's right. Yeah.
hockey.
Yeah.
Yeah, or
It's all
hockey.
now. Yeah. Well, good luck this weekend with whatever they're doing.
Thanks.
And I guess to you too. Congrats or whatever.
Thank you.
Yeah, way to go.
Happy for you. Real happy for
No
you.
game.
Is there any
malfunctions.
animosity amongst the mumsies and dadsies?
No, the other team pulled their goalie, which was interesting in U11. I did not see that coming.
Why wouldn't you if you were down?
Because they're 9 and 10. They're not for 15. But yeah, I don't know. I hadn't thought about it before. I was just like, that's the first time I've seen a goalie pulled in U11. Interesting.
Well, you're playing real
Championship
hockey.
game.
Championship.
Posting in on his phone.
Okay.
That's the only animal.
Changed their goalie? Like pulled their goalie at the end of the game. Oh, sorry. I thought they
Yank.
were down by a goal.
So they didn't get an extra attacker. They
No,
swapped.
sorry. Yeah, no,
Yeah, I
they
thought
got
it
the
was-
hook 9 minutes in.
Oh,
and that's the
yeah,
minor
okay.
hockey week final. Like that poor kid.
Gotcha. Yeah, that hurts. It stinks.
Yeah.
They put him in later, but
Don't have a coach.
We got a super chat we got to do. We got some Bet365.
Let's do it.
What do you want to do, Jack? Whichever you want to do.
Let's do our bet.
I got
Old Chuckles McGee over here. You've had a hell of a day. Just kind
It
of
was a good day.
Did you rest up this weekend, or did you just carry on like a clown?
Bit of both.
Doesn't make you bad. Doesn't make you bad. All right, let's do the Bet365, the world's largest sports betting platform. Open an account with Bet365 today.
Right.
Huge range of markets.
Get in on this.
Download the app if you haven't already, and when you sign up, use the promo code NATION. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Are you college football? Is that what you're doing?
Oh, yes. Nice.
Ohio State, Notre Dame.
Mm.
A little bit of hockey. There are 9 games tonight.
Look at the Blue Jackets as dogs against the Islanders. They're rolling. And the over parlay for plus 130, 349.
That's crazy.
Joker against Alcaraz. If you like tennis, these are two of the
What,
best
who
on
does
earth, head to head. I've lost my wife for 3 weeks. It's another major.
Hmm.
She'll be.
I thought he quit.
No, there's no quitters here.
She going to Paris?
Oh, maybe he quit on. He was pissed off about some heckling, or wasn't he?
Stay tuned tonight for the
I
latest.
think I'm joking. I'm serious.
No, I think there's the. Yeah.
He's walked out on Jimmy Connors. It's like, screw you, Connors.
Oh boy.
Gonna do no interview on this court after being heckled. That's your picks.
Today, you got picks too. Go.
Well,
Every day you can make picks.
I'm sending
Doesn't
them
have to be
right
me.
now.
It is the college football
It
championship.
is the college football championship.
Ohio
Championship
State,
National.
Notre Dame, the Ohio State Walleyes.
Yep.
Sure.
8.5 point favorites over the Notre Dame.
I'm going to take those points.
Golden Bears.
8.5 is a lot. Notre Dame's been good. Ohio State has cruised in the playoffs a little bit, but I think they were only ranked 8th coming into the playoffs. So they're beatable.
There's a lot of love for them, though. You're
It's
right.
a lot of points.
A lot of love.
I love.
Anyway, I'm going with Notre Dame. ND.
Rudy.
Not North Dakota.
Right.
Notre Dame.
Not Nodak. They don't have a football team.
Too cold.
It's just that easy. See what in the little bit. Oh, Rhett says goes to his app. Boop. Now you got a little action on the
And
big
tonight's
football
going to
game
be
tonight.
one hell of a game. Usually these
Popcorn?
these football. Yes, and my kid wanted to stab me yesterday.
What?
Because I didn't let him have popcorn on National Popcorn Day.
You didn't let him. What?
The hell's going on?
He was being a bit of a
Richard.
Tom and Jerry and waiting till the clock had passed midnight and it was time to be tucked in.
Uh-huh.
And he pulls out the popcorn. I'm like, no, you've been sitting here for 2 hours.
Yeah.
You had plenty of time to make this. Would have never said no to you, but no, not as you're headed up to bed. Sorry, bud.
My kid likes doing he'll pull out the hot air popper.
Yeah.
Just as I'm finishing meal prep for dinner. Like I'll just be kind of, stirring something. Okay.
Almost
get
ready.
this done. Almost
Set
ready.
the table.
What are you doing? Oh, just popcorn.
Anything happening here?
Set the table. More set the table, less popping corn.
It's dinner time.
Jesus. Can I have something to eat? Yeah, dinner in 2 minutes.
DUM. We should have experts come on and
Oh.
just tell us that we're not
You know what?
crazy
It's
people. It's
so bad.
their-
I don't want the truth. I can't handle it. Wouldn't be able to handle it. So that's your Bet365. But hey, we told you right off the start, you guys are, what do you get? What are we going to do? Lie to you?
Not even that.
Super chat inside the YouTube chat. You come, you bring it.
Mhm.
You bring your comments and have a little bit of a cash donation. We'll take that cash, send it off to the youth centers of Calgary. And what we'll do is we guarantee.
Oh, look at this. Look at this. Look at this.
Handsome Dan came in, I guess, last week. Said, you know what I'm doing? Every Wolf win.
$100.
$100. So there's another hundo.
Putting his money where his mouth is.
Handsome Dan's Vacation Rentals. I'm getting real 04 vibes, boys. The way Wolf bounced back after what was for him a subpar game in St. Louis with Kipperesque. It was Kipperesque. Also, this room seems to gel together in a way that the 04 room did too. Did we catch lightning in a bucket again?
I don't know what to think about this squad.
Who's their Iggy? That's kind of where it falls a little bit.
Yeah, falls short.
The rest, I agree. They don't have one.
Iggy wasn't that great in that run, though.
He had some off games. Right?
There wasn't any sort of shifts that you
They may not have
life.
they may not have an Iginla necessarily, but
There's
lots of guys can replicate what he did.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
We got plenty of Conroys.
Maybe too many.
We got a few yells. Yeah.
Maybe too many. So thank you, Handsome Dan. It's $100 for the youth centers of Calgary. They appreciate it. We appreciate
Kids,
it.
eh?
Yeah, kids.
Frank just told Pinder they should go get it. They get Lund, and Pinder said he's an idiot.
It's an interesting summary of the show.
Yeah,
agree with it.
That's how it went
That's
down.
your
That's a
opinion.
summary, yeah, for sure. Tomorrow is not a game day.
What?
But we'll come in. We'll do a show.
Should we?
Don't make me late. I got things to get to.
I know.
No idea when they start or where to be.
Wouldn't do it to you.
Let me know.
Yep, wouldn't do it to you. Have a fine rest of your day, everyone. We sure appreciate you being a part of the program.
Right.
Lots of Jack laughs today.
Oh, heavy laughter.
Yeah, we got to stick with the milk until that falls flat.
Bad choice. That'll do it. See you, buddies.